What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Home. How's it going? Everybody stop moving your microphones and checking them. We're here. We have an all-new Scott. You had one job. You had one job. There it is. That's all you had to do, Mr. Walton. We're here. We have an all-new Scott. It's still going. It's open somewhere. You had one job. There it is. That's all you had to do. Just turn the speakers off, maybe. Like our this on the keyboard. One job. There you go. There you go.
Woo,
we're good.
winner.
Let's hope the folks at home can hear us clear. Welcome. The studio has all been changed around now. It is completely different. Mark.
I'm sitting in a new position here, man. Look at this halo over my head.
You have a halo over your head. Tonight's beer choice is Pabst Blue Ribbon. Marley and I are enjoying those. We will get around the horn here in a second. Mark, how are you been?
I've been doing really, really well.
I'm glad to hear that. You have some exciting news to share with everybody from the world of fishing.
I do. I'm pretty proud of it.
We have some huge news from the Bassmaster Elite Series to share. Scott Walton and I watched that. Amber, just let us know if anybody's like, oh, your show, there has no volume. But Scotty's changed that screen for we can show them the rest of the new studio. Oh, there she is. Somebody.
Ow.
Oh, that was.
You just dropped Amber right on her head.
I did. There we go.
No, over a bit.
Over a bit.
Over a bit. Down.
There
we
go. Well, that was a new studio mistake right there. Marley, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Glad to have you here.
Yep, glad to be here.
Pabst
PBR.
Blue Ribbon. Mr. McCall.
Yo.
In the house. What are you drinking there? A hard cream soda?
Hard cream soda.
Wow.
Oh, you fancy.
Amber's running the IM board tonight. What are you enjoying for your beverage?
Hard cherry cola.
Hard cherry cola. I'm going to have a sip of that. I haven't had that one yet.
Nobody ever cares about the guy that doesn't drink booze.
No.
You drinking Monster?
It's a monster.
It's
by
a
the
monster. Welcome to... Yes, Sean is a monster too, though. Sean's double fisting.
way. He is.
And behind...
He's going to run home.
Mr. Walton, how's your new space?
Good, man.
What are you drinking?
I'm like H2O.
You need to move your camera down here. Here, I'll get this one for you. There you go.
Yeah,
It's
we
good
got
to
a
see
shit
you.
show.
Yeah, it has been a shit show. Most of my life, 35 years of this.
True story.
Very true story.
I've been there.
We're all here. We've got beverages. We've got a lot to talk about. Where do you guys want to start?
Let's start about...
Whoa.
Yeah.
We should do this first. We should do this first. Tonight, to all the people out there in IM world, we have this lovely T-shirt. All you have to do to win this T-shirt is have the best story. Let me tell you what kind of story I need from you. You need to, in the IM, write the best lie you've ever told your significant other to go hunting or fishing. Write it in the IM board, the little story. Amber will read them out, and then we're all going to vote for them in here.
The end of the show.
At the end of the show. They got to be good stories. I don't want to hear, we want somebody to really take the cake.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Let's
Don't
put
mess
your
around here.
marriage in jeopardy for a shirt.
Yes.
That's the way this
Jason
contest
Renner is
works.
watching. Jason Renner, you got one.
If
You got one, buddy.
if you end up getting divorced, I will send you 2 shirts.
Jason is watching.
Because she's going to want half of it.
Isn't that the truth? Where do you guys want to start? What do you guys want to talk about?
Well, we already started with Mark's big news. Let's hear it.
What was Mark's big news?
What was Mark's big news? I got a halo over my head.
Oh, well.
That too.
Okay, we'll go. Mark's your story. You tell it.
Well, was it 2 weeks ago now?
Yep.
2 weeks ago now, for the first time in, I think, 7 years,
7
I
years.
decided to go to the Ontario Bass Nation qualifier. And guess what?
They like my tweets on Twitter.
So that's to...
They do a lot.
Yeah, that's to...
I really like them.
That's to qualify
Big
for
fans.
Team Ontario. To go down to the States, to the next Eastern Divisional.
What place did you finish?
I finished 11th place, which I snuck into the last position. So now I go down to South Carolina, Winnaw Bay, in June.
But you're real. You're the alternate.
I am the alternate.
So basically, you're going down as a fluffer to make sure our boys in competition are locked and loaded.
I'm basically a cheerleader.
You're a fluffer.
Yeah.
Fluffer.
Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, that's what they call it in the
So
porn
basically
industry.
what needs to happen is somebody can't go or there's a problem down there and I'm the alternate, so I will jump in.
We're taking somebody out. For
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
tournament.
yeah.
So-
Watch out,
Yeah.
Coop.
If you guys are in the top
Harding.
10, watch out.
Yeah.
So if there's anybody in the OBN on Team Ontario that's going, that can go, that doesn't want to go, will you let me know and take some pressure off? Because this is stressful. 'Cause
It
I
is- it
really,
must be
really,
stressful.
really want to fish this
It must
thing.
be a little stressful.
I've been doing research already.
Have you really?
Oh, absolutely.
You've already
It's
Facebook
tidal water,
pre-fished?
right? I don't know anything about tidal water.
Facebook pre-fishing?
Google pre-fishing.
I'm surprised
buddy.
you
You should
should-
go on YouTube's.
Oh, I have been.
You should start joining the bass clubs in that local area.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good idea.
Down there.
Facebook pages.
Yeah, yeah.
There's way more. Like, you remember when Google Maps Google
Earth.
first came out, and that was like the big thing?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not as handy as joining like a group of bragging guys about their body of water, eh?
No,
Yeah, yeah.
true.
Some fish forums and stuff, but I didn't want to let anybody know that.
Oh,
that
that was
gonna
a
happen.
secret?
Yeah, that was kind of a secret.
It's a smart thing. Any of you guys out there looking to fish tournaments out of your state or in province, just join the Facebook group.
Yeah.
Some guys even post videos. I've
Yeah.
seen them.
I've watched videos.
I watch videos all the time
Yeah.
on Facebook.
Just-
We've done lots of vlogs just because I saw people were pounding fish on that lake, and I thought, shit, I'm going too.
Why not?
Hey,
And you know what? It works
It's
to
a
my
new
strength.
world. It's a
It
new
works
world.
It works to my strength. Soft plastics is probably key down there from what I'm reading. so
Senkos?
Senkos is a huge part
No,
of it.
I
buddy.
mean dingers.
And I'm a master.
dinger.
Yeah,
Yum
yum
dinger?
dingers.
Sorry.
Yum dingers.
I've
And
seen these firsthand.
we talked about this on the boat. Remember this? Why I used yum dingers?
I don't remember. Oh, because they were like $4 a pack.
Because they're $3.50 a pack instead of $10. That's why I use the yum dingers.
Oh my God.
That's a great
Yeah.
way. Do we have a good story already?
Darlene Harrison.
All right.
Oh!
Okay, now let's. Should we introduce Darlene Harrison for those people that don't know?
She is part owner of the outfitting that we go bear hunting
Yep,
with.
hardwoods and swamps.
Did she have a story?
Yeah.
Okay, throw it out there.
All right.
First contender.
So when she was pregnant and had gone into labor, the doctor said not to go to the hospital till later. So her husband Mike went to work, and when labor pains got so intense, she called his work, and he was not there.
Mike.
Wow.
When he finally came back, and she told him what was going on and asked him where he was, he said, "Well, you said you didn't have to go to the hospital till later, so I went fishing."
Not a boy.
Nah,
Mike.
good on Mike. Yeah,
the
I like
baby
that.
can wait.
That's a beautiful.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
we got our first contenders. That's a
Yeah,
good story. Eh?
yeah.
You know that's a true story too.
Yeah, we know
It
that's
is.
a true story.
Right.
That a boy, Mikey.
This
Little
one,
tear in
I
my
will tell
eye
a
right
story
now.
about Ashton being born, and I didn't go fishing, but his mom called me and said we'd spent the
You
night.
can't win the shirt just to put it out
I,
there.
2 nights before we'd spent the night in the hospital with like false labor, joking and me laying on the floor, and so Saturday morning I had a hockey tournament, and the first game was at 8:30. So Ashton's mom called me about 7 and said she was back in the hospital, gonna like this time for real. So I went over there, and I was like, "Are you like for real like right now, or like for real I go play hockey, and then come back and catch this?" And she was like,
Come catch this.
so I had it in my head that if I made it to the rink and I had my, like if I was out on the ice, whatever goes down, goes down.
Ouch.
I made it to Quantrells in Port Hope, and I got the call saying they were taking her in the room to deliver the baby, so I had to turn around and go back.
You should have walked in skates or just a jock.
You know what?
I got here as soon as I could.
Your sticky hockey equipment.
Dr. Bear, who was the anesthesiologist,
Dr. Bear?
yeah, he
Bear,
asked me during the pregnancy if I wanted to play on their Saturday morning hockey team.
Dedicated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll never forget Ashton's mom looking over and going, "Really? This is what we're going to talk about right now?" And I was like, "Well,
The doctor brought it up.
this
Who
guy
might
sees
argue?
an
He's
A
the
player.
professional.
He's got to take the chance on the sign." But yeah, I think Darlene's story beats the cake. Mike was actually really fishing. That's pretty impressive. Amber, if there's any more, keep us updated. Big day in the world of bass fishing. Brandon Polnick, Angler of the Year.
Yes. Way to
Well
go.
deserving.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got the chance to speak to Brandon a little bit, like via text message. One of the most humble, good people in the industry. Huge congratulations to him.
He
Hard
did
working
break a
dude.
record too
Yeah.
this year.
Did he?
When you left, I was watching. He broke a record. His Okeechobee finish was 105th.
Yep.
That is the worst by a guy that's won Angler of the Year.
No
Worst.
way.
Like,
You won a record for sucking the best?
Yeah.
Sucking the best.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That a boy, Brandon.
That was his worst tournament, and that's been the record for
The
worst
highs and
tournament.
lows of fishing.
Yeah, for sure.
You got any highs and lows of fishing, Sean?
Oh wow! I didn't think we were gonna go that deep that fast. What is it?
We're going
13
there.
minutes in.
Yeah, we're going there.
Hey, it's on the board, man.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, not only today did Brandon win the Angler of the Year, Keith Combs won.
Yeah.
He threw a 1 ounce football jig on open water for smallmouth. Caught all his fish.
Wow.
Big bombs, throwing the Shimano Cray, he said. Throwing big bombs and just dragging a 1 ounce flipping jig.
head, yeah.
Football head.
Crazy.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
Super cool though.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to do that this week on the vlog at some of our lakes. I think if that works, that's super way cool to catch them.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
We've done it
throwing them.
once, that one time with you.
You remember you caught that fish in 18 feet of water, like pre-fishing, and we were like, "This is no help at all." Flipped
Nick-
in to 18 feet.
Paul Nick found a rock today, and he caught like a dozen fish off the rock.
Yeah, he called it
nicknamed it
Dwayne Johnson. Because it's the rock.
We get it.
So he also talked about the.
Yes, we got the joke.
Yeah, we're not done.
He also talked about going through the federation, and that's how he got to where. He
Well,
is.
let's talk about the federation some more then. Scott, you're part of the federation.
I am part of the federation.
I'm part of the federation.
I think next
you're part
year,
of the
I
federation
think-
in a way, aren't you?
Kind of. I'm a member of Bass.
You get a magazine.
You get a magazine.
I am.
I think
actually
next
the
year I'm going
tournament
to.
director
I
for
sh-
Quinny
should.
Bassmasters.
I might
You
join
are,
the Quinny
Sean?
Bassmasters. I might join him. Scott will let me, and Amber. Amber, I might join
What?
Quinny Bassmasters. Probably not the time to talk about this, eh?
Yeah.
9 people watching, and Amber's like, "What? You're joining
I
who?"
didn't hear what you said.
I'm gonna join a bass club
Okay.
and
Is
fish
it
the
any
federation.
different than what you're doing now?
Yes, I didn't fish any tournaments this year. I'm gonna fish
Yeah,
club events.
Yeah, it's $30
Against Scott
a
Walden.
tournament.
that's a lot different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, like Scott finished second place a couple times in his club
I won
event.
one, and I got second in one. And
A couple weeks ago,
I got
Scott Walden
fourth
and I
place.
had
Oh,
a little tournament of ourselves, and I managed to beat him by 13 pounds.
yeah, we got one fish.
on a 3-fish limit.
So second place in this club's looking real good.
Yeah, I had to go out and get some smallies after.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
too
a tough.
much.
It was a good go. I ran all over that lake. He kept messaging me. I texted him a couple times, and he'd be like, "I only go one fish," and I thought he's sandbagging me, right? So I'm like burning, calling fish. I even called once in front of him, and I thought he had like
Right
decent
at
bag.
the end.
We get in,
Right
he's
full.
like, "I only got
Nothing
one,"
worse.
and I was like, "Man, I'll put like $60 of gas through this thing." So yeah, I got that title. It felt
Yeah.
good. I beat you and your father-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did by 13 pounds.
Do you want me to kind of judge these stories myself?
Yeah.
Just read the ones that are better.
I don't want
Well,
I don't want people half-assing stories for a T-shirt.
okay, my only thing. Jason
do
sent
things full ass.
Renner sent one in, but I can't. I don't. The punctuation's probably the same as yours. Maybe a little better.
Let's put this out there. This is
You want me to
not
try
a
and read that?
grammar
Yeah,
contest.
Yeah, you do it.
You want me to try
You
and
should
read
just
it?
Yeah,
have-
let a man
Yeah.
do it.
All right.
You should have him
Ring.
just call in.
Bring.
Him and his announcer voice.
I got
Yeah,
nothing.
he has the greatest. There's actually a live video where Renner is talking in the background, and he sounds like an announcer.
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
he could
He
announce
should
a
Oh,
hockey
he
game.
totally
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, he could
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Good. He's got a voice for radio for sure.
It's yeah.
And a face.
Okay,
no,
so-
sorry,
No,
Jason.
whoa.
Okay, so Jason Renner says, so when my wife was 8 months pregnant with
Wow.
our first child, I told her there's no way I could get out of fishing a tournament. I would lose my $100 if I didn't enter. Granted, she was
That's 100 US, isn't
100
it?
American.
$100. So I'd lose my $100 if I didn't enter. Granted, she was 8 months pregnant. She had the kid 2 days after I finished this tournament. So the big lie was the fact that I could not get out of the tournament to get my money back to fish this tournament, and we had the kid 6 days later. So that was my biggest lie I ever told to my wife to go fishing. The baby room wasn't finished, no car seat, nothing, but I fished the big muddy.
Well,
How'd you do, Jason?
that's a good story. But that doesn't beat like actually being fishing, like when the phone call comes. And you know what? That we didn't count in Darlene's story that Mike wasn't even at work.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
He
He said
wasn't
he
at,
was at
you
work.
said he was
He
at
lied
work.
to 2 people.
He
Yeah.
made
Yeah.
He
He
lied-
probably
He
told his boss that he
he
was
was
going to have a
a
baby.
baby.
Oh, Mike, you make
Runner,
us
good
proud.
story. Second place so far. Keep them coming, boys. The what were we on? Oh, our big tournament there, Scotty.
Yeah.
Where were you throwing out there that day?
I don't even remember. Whatever it wasn't much good.
No, it wasn't much good.
It was not the Ned rig. I just got to say that.
The Ned rig, okay, well, let's go down that path. The Ned rig actually works pretty good, eh?
Oh, yeah. It's
I've caught a
insane.
pile of
You,
fish.
you got to have the right
Insane.
bottom for the Ned rig. I
You
You
have
do.
to have
Yeah, you
the
do.
Gotta be-
exact shroom head, and you have to use the turds.
Yeah, the Z-Man stuff, eh?
Yeah, you
Yes. The
really
stuff
got to
that
use the
floats
real
right
stuff,
up
Yeah, it
and-
floats
or it
straight
doesn't
up.
work at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no half-ass in
No.
that.
Yeah.
You really got to use the right, like mushroom head. Speaking of mushroom heads, I don't know why I'm looking at Marley talking about this.
We all did.
We all looked over at Marley.
We were talking about the American Vandal on Netflix, and I'm going to tell you all that I've watched 3 episodes. I don't think he's guilty at all. If you haven't seen it, basic concept is it's a bit of a knockoff to American Murder, America
No,
Making a Murderer.
making a murder, yeah.
But this young lad is accused of drawing 27 penises on the faculty's car.
Penises.
Penises.
Yeah. There you go.
Penises.
So they basically kicked this young lad out of school, and but there's some discrepancies between what is really going on. There's a bit of conspiracy. There's no hair on the balls on the cars, and he's a notorious dick drawer, but there's always hairs. And he actually speaks on how important the hairs are to his drawings, so it can't be him. It is actually really good. I laugh my ass off.
I saw the ad and I'm like, there's no way this is real.
Is this a spoof? Like, I have no idea.
I
What
hope
I
it's
don't
a
know. I
spoof.
haven't seen it either.
Well, the main character was also in what movie was that guy in? Where he's a football.
Dressed in the wrong guy.
22 Jump Street.
oh yeah.
Yeah. He's the rooster who bangs his head off the football post. You know what I'm talking about?
Wow.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Scott?
No.
You guys watch TV,
you went from
movies,
a
anything? You guys watch TV?
We don't have blood clots, buddy. We're at work.
Man, you
Oh,
guys don't.
hemochromatosis.
Our lungs is good.
You guys ever watch anything?
I just want to know how they make that many episodes about somebody drawing penis.
What's important?
I would've
Get
known-
right into it.
If I would have known I could make that much money off drawing penises, I would have started when I was young.
You
The
could
guy
make a
works
lot of
at-
money
he
on a
drew
lot
one
of.
dick at work and everybody lost their mind.
Yeah.
It's
Really?
crazy. Yeah.
No way.
He drew one dick on a calendar, and I guess everybody got all offended and bent out of shape.
Well, okay.
did
Well,
that,
let's go
Marlon?
down.
No, it wasn't me.
The world is awfully offended pretty easy these days.
Sure
Like,
is.
yeah. What do you think about that?
What do I think?
Yeah,
about
I'm
it?
gonna throw
I
this
think
right to
people
you.
are-
You're the
I
woman in the
think
room.
People are oversensitive, and I think they're
Everyone's
all
gone
like
soft.
forget about everybody else's.
Do you think you're
stories or
oversensitive?
feelings. Maybe with what you say.
I'm always drawing
How's
dicks. Every photo I take of my buddies, and they're like, "Yeah, send me that photo." I go in and edit it, and I shoot dicks into their mouths.
I really think it's a guy thing, eh? Like, I don't know what it is. It's
That
kind
scene
of like
from Superbad,
which one?
the one where he's drawing the dicks and they find the dick treasure, dick treasure chest.
Never.
Now
you,
you-
gotta watch it.
He's got a
you gotta see
collection.
it.
Now let's talk about where the first time we ever watched Superbad was in Owen Sound in a parking lot at like 4 a.m. Drove to Owen Sound all night, got lost. Remember when we
We drove
took
to
the
Midland first.
yeah, that was
So it
way
like
out
the
of our
wrong
way.
side of the lake.
Yeah.
And then, had to and then had to go all the way back.
So we got there, and this will take us into our next topic. But Marley had a portable DVD player. Remember when those came out, and you flipped it off, and you put the DVD in there for the young.
Pimpin', man.
Pre-smartphone.
Yeah.
Right.
So for the young people
This
out
one
there
is
who
for
don't know
sure.
what a DVD is, it's like a round disc that you use to play music or movies on, sometimes video games.
I'd say it looks like a CD, but they don't know what that is either.
No.
No.
But albums are coming back out. Vinyl is
Didn't
coming
you,
back
Yeah,
out.
that's
So it's
pretty
a
cool.
smaller thing of
Didn't
vinyl.
you have a VHS?
It's a smaller
for
thing
sale
of
a
vinyl.
couple days ago?
Jesus.
It's coming back out.
Oh, it's a single.
That's a
Yeah.
45.
Smaller than
That's a 45. So it's hard to believe in our lifetime how fast technology is growing. Like
Oh,
even
yeah.
like now the iPhone 7. I don't know how they went from an iPhone 7 to a 10.
Well,
Didn't
did
they
they go
come
to
out with an
iPhone
8?
8?
They
No.
did come out with an 8.
Yeah,
Did they really?
8,
Yeah.
and they went right to 10. They
10.
skipped 9 somehow.
must be bad
10th
mood,
anniversary,
bad
I
mojo.
think
or
they
something.
just.
The iPhone X.
It's like a 13.
You
maybe?
can't do that.
Skip the 9. They did.
Yeah.
They did it. They're Apple. They can do whatever they want.
They are doing whatever they want.
Marley has a
They
big
did.
grudge against Apple.
I do.
What happened?
He does.
I just
He's
think
never.
it's way over marketed junk.
I like that
Ugh.
everything
He's like
is
he was really.
connected.
He sent me a lot of. The first time I ever got an Apple computer, he sent me a lot of hate text messages about it and how I was like falling to society's blah blah blah. He was pretty upset. And then I got an iPhone. Then I was a trader, and
I don't get the iPhone fad. I don't. Like I'm a Samsung. I'm
Yeah.
Android, right?
I can't do it.
I had
Same.
iPhones, now I have
I like
Samsungs.
my
I don't
What's
give a
better?
shit. They both text.
Yeah,
they both
yeah.
text. They both take pictures.
Yeah, but you don't even
You
know
can
what
draw
I-
dicks on the pictures and shoot
I
them.
know, that's-
I just love it when you see somebody drop their iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had this co-op kid and it fell down on the back, right? And then he flips it over and I'm like, really? The back's glass? And he's like, oh no, my phone.
My dad's gonna
And this
kill
kid was
me,
like
man.
crying.
But it's amazing how technology, like, I don't think, like, we're
Leaps
all
and
in,
bounds, man.
other than Mark, we're all in our 30s here. Not Nick
Hey,
McCall
hey,
anymore
hey.
either. Shit.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
we're going
guys,
there, yeah,
40
we're going
years
there, too.
old.
So
yeah.
anyway, in our lifetimes, the technology's growing faster now than it ever has. Like when you were a kid, like when I
when
was a
I
teenager.
graduated high school, there was no internet.
Really?
Yeah, there was no internet.
What'd you do?
We played.
Yeah,
always had
there was
internet.
internet, but it was like on the Commodore. You had to like.
Yeah, but
Comma
it wasn't.
space,
It
comma
wasn't
one.
You
mainstream.
needed a satellite tower.
I remember
Yeah,
when I was about maybe 10 years old, my friend got a computer, right?
we had a
he-
Commodore 64.
So he got a Commodore 64, right?
Yeah.
And I go over to his house Boxing Day, and he's like, he's got, remember floppy disks?
oh yeah.
So he's got a whole like cabinet of floppy disk, and he pulls this one out, right? And he
The
puts
Olympics.
Leisure Suit
No,
Larry.
listen, these are Sue Larry. I played that
I
too.
love that game.
So anyway, pulls this thing out, right? And he puts
You
it
didn't.
into the Commodore 64, closes the thing, and up pops this skeleton in like 8 megabyte, worst pixel, and it goes, holy shit. And I just about died. I was like, wow, the technology boom is on. And that was the first time I ever seen a computer that did something that you were like, what the fuck? Like, wow.
Really? Eh?
Yeah, and all it was a skeleton with it looked like Skeletor. It just went holy shit, and then that was it on a whole floppy disk that was like the size of a vinyl record.
The only internet we ever had was inside your swimming shorts there. How you had the built-in underwear. The best part about them is when you're tying row bags and you ran out of the tie, you can cut pieces out of them.
So we went from that to Windows 95, and then it just progressively like
You know, it was the bomb PG mail.
PG mail.
You don't remember that?
No.
From like grade school, you could send like messages
Within
to each other
school,
in
yeah.
school. It was
Yeah,
No
like
way.
a network.
Yeah.
Oh, I never got
I never
that.
did that.
I think
That
I
was-
used to
hack
hack
into
I used to go on the.
Ours was on
Yeah.
pieces
No
of
way.
paper.
I used to go on Lava Life on.
Lava Life.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
So where you could like
What was the
pee.
other one? ICQ?
ICQ? Yeah, I knew a guy who I went to high school with who had a girlfriend in like Norway on ICQ. Seriously, swear to God.
I've never even heard of this stuff.
No, me neither.
I haven't heard of
ICQ was like the original MSN Messenger.
Yeah, yeah.
You remember
That's
that?
Right before that, yeah.
Yeah.
My high school was way behind the times. We didn't have auto shop. We didn't have any of that
What?
shit. No.
Crazy.
No joke. Yeah.
We had no auto shop.
Everything,
we had shop.
everything I learned to fix, I've already broke myself at home, right? Like,
Yeah.
we didn't have any of that.
I believe
stuff.
that.
No woodworking, no welding.
No
Did you know
way.
Ian back then? Too?
We had woodwork.
Wild.
Did you know Ian back
No.
then too?
yeah.
That's how I met Marley. He's the only way he could change skateboard wheels. But the technology is like even fish finders. Like even if you think 5 years ago.
Oh, buddy.
The old
How, like-
printouts.
Well, that was
to
that
print
was
it out.
yeah. The paper. Remember
I still don't believe
Kulik?
anyone actually had one of
Was
those
that
things.
remember Kulik told us the story about them running out of paper and on the VH radio salmon fishing trying to buy paper from other boats?
I think there's still
Crazy.
one at my mom's house.
No way. We'll take that for this room.
Yeah.
Did you
See if
bring
it's there.
our thing?
What thing?
Our
You know, that
photo
thing.
opener?
Oh no, I didn't.
Bastard.
Joan wants it out of the house.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
What are we?
We'll bring it up on the next webcast.
Okay.
We got a special surprise from Hardwoods and Swamps. but-
Yeah,
Is
we
it
got a
penis?
gift.
Yeah, we got a gift. It's really cool.
Okay.
Really, really cool.
Really cool.
Thank you, Darlene and Mike.
Yes, thank you, darling.
Thank
We'll
you,
talk about it
darling
on the
and
next
Mike.
show.
I
Well, you want to
think-
go to, well, since we're on that, are we done with the technology talk? Fish finders, like you can see everything on them today. It's absolutely mind blowing.
Oh, man. That Garmin, what's the new
Pantomics.
Garmin?
Do you
Oh,
think
Or-
they'll ever come out with a virtual reality fish finder thing?
I don't know.
You just
It'll be
planted
coming,
the
I'm
seed.
sure.
You
I'm
think
sure.
so?
Like, you'll stand up there, you'll slip your fucking
Maybe I
smartphone.
should
So
Goggles
here's
and
an
goggles.
here's an interesting
You'll
thing.
cast off the front. Like,
Put
you'll
your
just look
smartphone
around.
into your goggles.
Yeah, you will. 100%. You'll just stand up there. You'll look around. It's like those new VR goggles they got. You know, you shit the shit in there, and these.
Shit the shit in
Yeah,
there?
you shit the shit in the fucking goggle thing, right? and you'll just stand up there, and you'll be able to.
TikTok.
Yeah.
So on BTL before the Elite Series event started, I watched Polnick do an interview, and they were talking about how they were going to make the Elite Series more of a spectator sport. And Brandon brought up the idea that maybe in 20 years they'd have a bass tournament inside of like the Rogers Center, flood the Rogers Center, put in log jams, right? You know, release whatever amount of bass, and then you would air all the Elite Series guys in like an arena, and it'd have to be a pretty big arena, but then they would have fishing events inside of arenas, and you'd just watch them drive around,
Fishing in a barrel.
fishing in a barrel.
It's like the Hunger Games.
Yeah,
It'd be like
right?
bass games.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. Then that's what he like the same kind of idea. So who knows where we're going with
So
technology?
then like 1/4 of it would be like a
Would
storm.
you compete in the Hunger Games?
I don't know.
I don't
I
think you have a
fucking would.
choice.
Would
Do
you?
have a
You
choice?
no doubt
Oh,
you
I
would.
know you would.
You're also the guy who has a ground blind that's also known as a bait barrel.
Or a snack machine.
Yeah, at least, I collect quarters.
Oh shit! I've never
Wow.
seen it. Yeah, the best look on your face was when I told you were his cameraman. You're like, what?
Really?
What?
Perfect.
Out of a blind.
We got any more stories?
No.
No.
I think you should say it again because there's different people and
Anyway, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are giving away this T-shirt for the best story about lying to your significant other about how to go hunting and fishing. Just throwing it out there. Best one. Darlene has the best story so far. Send your questions on the IM board, and Amber will read them out. Where were we going on the next topic? It was there. Bear hunting.
Bear hunting?
We went bear hunting.
We went.
We went bear hunting.
are we gonna?
I
talk
love
about
being bear hunting.
I do really like
I
going
love
bear hunting.
walking in by yourself, listening to every little chipmunk going. It takes some balls to walk in there, man.
It certainly does.
You're going to a
it
place
is a
where
little
they're
weird.
where they're baiting bears.
Where you're
Don't
trying
think so?
You fucking vagina.
I'm telling you, man.
It is a
I'm
little-
not scared. I love it now, but the first time I ever went in there by myself, I was scared, dude. I'll admit it. But now I'm okay.
The whole thing is like
too
the
excited.
premise of going into the bay with your bow is like everything everybody told you not to do, right? Like the first time we ever went with Mike, remember when he was like, if you get there and there's a sow with 3 cubs, she won't bother you, just climbing the tree stand. And we were like, what?
That's not what I heard.
For real? I'm like, they'll be like 20 yards away. He's like, no, they're fine. It's cool. I feed them when they're, and I'm like, what? Are you sure? And he was like, yeah, you'll be all right. So we went marching in like we know any better. Yeah, we left the stand about 5 minutes early because there was such cloud cover. You couldn't see anything in the woods. So when I was walking out, there was an old, snowmobile. And I almost shot it with my bow because I thought it was a bear.
See who's got the vagina on now, eh?
I had to double take it. I was like, oh, shit. And then I was like,
I didn't fire at any of those stumps
I
that
was
scared the
like,
shit out of me.
no worries. It's only an enticer.
Take it out.
But, yeah, we went bear hunting. We didn't see any bears.
We did not.
We had a bear come in your bait an hour after. But the blackberries bloomed, and they were nuking them. They left the baits on the Wednesday. We went on the Friday.
Yeah.
Straight up. There's a million years of evolution going on for bears to eat berries. So
when the berries come out, man,
it's over. Yeah.
They're gone. Oh, yeah.
For
they're
sure.
on the berries. They love the berries.
Yeah, it's pretty tough
We
to-
got so many blueberry bushes on our property. Like our trails everywhere. It's just on both sides, crazy thorn blueberries coming over. So we got to go through and trim them every year. But you're ripping through on your wheeler and you're getting just cut right up.
Ooh.
I'll go
But-
pick me some blueberries.
What's it
why don't
like?
you bring some hell?
No, there's bears out there.
Vagina.
Exactly.
Not bringing a gun's pretty stupid too.
Is it?
I don't
It's just part of it, man.
You know what I think? I really think like maybe not for black bears, but if you go out for like brown bears,
Yep.
bears
Yeah.
they're aggressive.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
They're
yeah.
aggressive.
That's different.
They-
That's a whole different ball.
Different
They will,
ballgame. Yeah,
they
yeah.
will kill you.
Yeah.
Straight up, they will come after you and they will kill you. You don't want to be mauled
You
by
wanna
a brown
go,
bear.
Mark?
You better have more than a fucking chocolate bar. I can tell you that. And now, if you're bow hunting, I really think it should be a law where you're allowed to carry a sidearm as well, because sometimes pepper spray or mace, like pepper spray and mace, is illegal here. We're not allowed to have
we're
it.
not.
Yeah,
allowed.
yeah, that's true.
We can have like
There's some bear
bear
stuff.
deterrent.
What is
But
that?
It's
Piss the bear
probably-
off.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never tried it. Or
Vinegar in a bottle?
Yeah, probably. It's probably a loud sound.
$60 bottle?
Yeah.
I can get you some hairspray.
That's
that shit hurts.
make the
You
bear
know,
angler.
But I really feel that you should be able to carry a sidearm, a holstered sidearm, when you go into the bush when you're bow hunting like that.
When I was out there last time, I was thinking about what if one like I'm not really worried about bigger bears. It's those little yearling bears that are really curious. Come on, how would you even shoot a bear out of one of those tree stands, like climbing up the tree with you? Like where do you go?
right in the
Right
face.
in the fucking head, bud.
Yep.
But what if he's coming up the side? Like by the time he gets up,
Yeah.
like he'll be there. So
I
what,
have my-
well,
you
what
know
point?
why?
So let's
Oh,
let,
they-
let's
When
Let's
I'm sitting in that
seconds.
stand, buddy,
Let's
I have
talk
my
this out.
knife right beside me.
what are you gonna do with a
I'll-
knife? This is as dumb
I'll
as
get
the
a
whole.
jab at 'em.
This is the whole.
I'll get
So,
a jab at him. I
last
ain't
time
going
we
out
were-
without a fight.
Last time we were there, Mike told us that if we run into this circumstance, to punch them in the nose, and I
Yeah,
was
we
like,
laughed about this. didn't
yeah,
we?
yeah, we did.
You do the same with the shark, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Has he ever
great.
tried this?
No, but this is what they told him at some guiding thing a long time ago for the M&R. They were like, "Tell your guys to punch him in the nose," and I was like, "I'm not
You're
punching
gonna
a
get a
bear in
handful
the
of
nose."
teeth, is what you're gonna get.
No, they'll probably F off, right? They'll jam.
Probably.
If they're coming up your tree, they're usually curious.
Yeah, that's right. It's
You know,
never. I don't.
They'll come up and smell you. It's not
Light a
too
smoke.
often they'll come up and attack you.
Start
Black
blowing, start blowing smoke in her face.
It works. We never catch anything.
if you're hacking darts in a tree, good luck seeing a
Yeah.
bear.
Yeah.
'Cause they got noses and noses, right?
That's what I read this thing.
Right.
I'm not sure where I read it, but it said
Yeah, bring this
about
up.
hunting. It said,
He texted this to me.
Yeah.
Great words of wisdom.
yeah, a turkey can see the leaf move. A deer can hear the leaf move. No, yeah,
See-
and the bear can smell the leaf move.
Ooh, that's deep.
That's a lot of
Wow.
leaves.
That's deep. So okay,
Does he take out the
okay,
mouth?
everybody, you're in a tree. No, you only have your bow. Bear comes up the tree. What's your plan? I was thinking when I was up there, you can't even go down the ladder because by the time you got down the ladder, you're fucked again because
You know
you
what?
will come down the tree.
You swing to the next tree.
That's what I was thinking.
So,
Grab the vine and swing.
yeah.
Jason
Have you ever
Renner-
watched George of the Jungle? This
Pull
doesn't go. Yeah, never.
Pull out your American Ninja Warrior tricks.
Yeah.
You're gone.
Renner just says that I better tell you to file down the front sight on the barrel. And he says, so it hurts less when the bear shoves it up your ass.
So what are you going with? Your bear is coming up your tree.
I think that's a decision you got to make right there.
Do you
right
punch
now.
him? You better film.
No, I'm
and then you
I'm
run
not.
the camera.
I got an arrow already knocked. I'm gonna let one go on him. I think.
Really? Shoot him in the dick.
Shoot him in the dick, man. Shoot him anywhere I can.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't draw straight down on a bear.
No.
No.
Probably not.
No, especially not backwards.
Probably not.
Why?
I don't think they're coming up a tree to hurt you.
No.
They're
No.
not black bears. I think they're
Would you just
more.
make noise, like yell at it?
Oh, I'm not. I'm not
See,
talking
they-
one
and like
that's
here,
standing
here's
at the
like
bottom of
I've
the
had these
stand.
conversations with
They're more-
McCall too, and what McCall's gonna do and what I'm gonna do are two completely different things in life.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the one
He'll
that's
be like, "What's
climbing
going
the
on, big
tree,
guy?
Not the one that's standing at the
How's it
bottom.
going? I wasn't gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. I'm looking for your mom.
It's climbing at the tree. It's not standing at the bottom
I'm
looking
looking
at
for
you.
your
Hey,
mom.
boo boo.
Yeah.
Hey, boo boo.
It's coming up.
We had another great idea when we were up there.
What do you do?
Yeah, I wouldn't shoot it if it was climbing up my tree.
No.
No.
You
That's
wouldn't have
like
the,
that's
uh,
kind of
You wouldn't have the momentum in the arrow, or what?
Well, it wouldn't
No,
kill
no,
him right
you-
away.
You could. It's hard to shoot straight down though, man. Like you
Yeah, yeah.
tilt your bow straight down. You look at that arrow, try to stay inside your rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Unless you got a whisker biscuit where it's gonna stay.
don't.
Like I use a fall away,
I'm
right?
gonna shoot my foot, and then I'm gonna pin myself to the tree, and then he's gonna eat me.
You know what I mean? You got to make sure you're being.
So
but
what do you
if
do?
you're in like a ladder stand,
What
you're
do you do?
off,
I have no
you're,
idea
you're
what
off
to
the
do.
tree. If you're on a ladder stand, you're away from the tree. If he's coming up the backside, you'd have a hard time hitting him with your bow, like shooting through the metal.
Yeah,
He'd
you
have to
probably
be
have a hard time
yeah.
getting at him. Yeah.
Kick him in the face.
Yeah.
And
You
then
basically just
armbar
wait
him.
for his head to pop up, and you take
So what
your
do you
bow,
do?
wrap it around his neck,
Give
and
Marley's
then choke him
chocolate
out.
bar.
Give him Marley's chocolate bar.
Marley's chocolate bar.
What would
I'm
you
gonna
do?
shit my drawers. That's
Me?
what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'd be
Sean
sleeping,
is-
so I'd probably just do
I
whatever.
probably
wanted.
wouldn't wait for him to get close enough where I could punch him in the face. I'd probably give him a boot in the face.
Yeah.
That's what I
That'd
was
be-
thinking.
You know,
Not that I'd be up
I'd
there.
yell at him first. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
usually
yeah.
if you're like, "Hey, get out of here, bear," they'll jam, right? You know, they don't really want.
Do they know that
don't-
they're a bear?
Do they know that
Yeah.
they're a bear?
What if you said, "Get out of here, goldfish"?
Well,
Yeah, would he still run, or
Yeah.
do you need to hear that
Are you
bear?
talking to me?
They probably. I got a fuck you to go around the table here. I think. Fuck you.
I got another story.
I'm not even.
Let
at
it
the
rip.
table.
Todd says, I just don't tell her I leave for work early when she's asleep, but I never post pictures of my catch because she gets mad that I go without her. For one, I like to go without because I'm always busy fixing her rod or putting on her worms. 'Cause she
Here
hates
comes
to
a
use-
two t-shirt
All stuff
deal.
you could've left
She
out.
hates to use lures or soft baits. I also once said I was going in on Saturday for overtime, but I went fishing instead.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Did she watch the FearFishing webcast?
I don't know, Todd, does she? Todd also said to stab the bear in the eye.
I don't want to be that close.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
They
I
got
don't-
Would you
claws
shoot him
swinging by
if
then.
he's coming in? No.
I have
Let's
no
say.
idea.
Now
man.
let's say we've experienced the whole sow and cub things.
Yes, we have.
Now I had a cub walk by my ground blind last fall deer hunting, and the first thing I thought is, dear God, don't come over here curious, right? Look at ground blind and start. Now what if a cub comes up a tree with you and Mama's looking?
Ouch.
Will you punch a cub?
Cub will take right off.
You think so?
Oh yeah, cubs won't come any close. If you yell at a cub, they'll jam.
Oh, okay, good
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah, they're
So if
cubs.
they
Marley,
don't-
look at
Someone needs
Marley.
to find this out.
Huh?
Seriously, someone needs to find out.
Well,
Yeah, what do you do?
No, if
Yeah.
anything happens, you just call Sean in the tree stand.
Yeah.
yeah, and put him on.
called him. I
That's
told him
that's
not.
gonna be my plan. I'm gonna call Sean. I'm gonna put him on speakerphone. I'm gonna be like, the bear needs to talk to you.
Yeah. Show me your muscles, Sean.
You got to work this out with the bear real quick because he looks hungry.
Don't worry, I'll be there in 10.
Yeah.
Well, when we were up bear hunting, we got to fish the back lake and we caught a pile
Oh,
of
that
fish.
was awesome, eh?
We caught a bunch
Hey,
of.
guess what I
pike.
found in the back of my truck?
What?
I was cleaning it this morning.
Lures?
No, dingers.
No way.
Package of dingers.
Some bitch.
Yeah.
Too late now. So I was thinking when I got my tree stand, I'm like, Jesus, that smells like a northern pike up here. And I'm like, above the bait, I'm probably carrying northern. Yeah, I probably smell like better than the bait pile right now. I'm like, free.
That's another thing, I don't think that bears like dead fish. I think like a fish out of the river's totally different. It's fresh.
Got you?
Like I've known guys that have taken salmon,
Yeah.
threw them up on the bait pile, and the bear hasn't touched them.
No way.
Won't
But
touch
how
'em.
long would that take to rot,
would make
right? That
sense.
would rot
Yeah.
quick.
Not
long, Yeah.
So
you
that
know?
might be.
It would-
But I also heard that bears like to sometimes take their meat, like maybe it's different meat other than salmon
Yeah.
if they kill different meat, and they like to bury it until it starts to kind of rot,
Oh.
right?
Ew.
And then go back and
Could
dig
you
it
grab
up.
me another beer?
It's probably an
But
acquired
if you're
taste.
right there.
burying it in dirt, would that not maybe hold something in?
Hold what in, Scott?
Insects.
Well, it would still rot.
Yeah.
It would still rot. It's dead and
It's colder down there, right?
Yeah,
You
it would
think
probably
they're-
it would take longer for
They
sure.
might be burying it just to
But-
protect it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
fighting it.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
idea. That's a good point. That's
Yeah.
like the cougars and the cheetahs putting it in trees for
Yeah.
they can't lose the to hyenas and stuff.
yeah, for sure.
Awesome. You want another beer while she's up?
No, I'm okay. Thank
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Rough weekend?
Been all right, yeah.
You smell like cocaine and hookers. I'm just saying.
Wasn't that rough?
I'm coming out with you next weekend.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So
Where are you guys going?
I'm gonna be on Marley like a backpack.
speaking of this, you guys are at the opposite end of the world right now. Sean, you're in a fresh relationship with a nice young lady.
Yeah.
Marley, you're
Cocaine and hookers.
learning all sorts of lessons, life lessons.
life lessons, getting out there, experiencing the world.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you miss fishing?
Do I miss fishing?
Yeah, like is fishing like the calm spot now?
I don't know. It's been a while since I even went, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, yeah.
Sean, where you been? How's that beagle of yours?
Anybody want a dog?
Is it yappy?
It's a puppy.
Yeah.
It's a puppy.
And it's a hound.
Like, yeah,
First
that's what I
hound,
mean.
yeah,
Is it,
beagle,
is it
whatever
very
it's a-
houndy?
Yeah, it's a beagle slash.
Jack Russell, right?
Yeah, no, it's a
No?
Cocker spaniel?
beagle slash spaniel slash asshole.
Slash dog.
It's
Perfect.
mostly asshole.
So, yeah. Did you guys miss fishing? You haven't
Oh,
been in
Sean's
touch-
been out, but he misses the fish.
I miss
His line's
catching.
not there.
I totally miss catching.
Yeah, you've had a rough year, eh, buddy?
Yeah, it's
I
been-
feel for you,
had
man.
the-
I
had the-
feel for you.
I had the worst. I've had a shitty year all around.
Maybe
Last
you
year,
have
You know
I-
what? You're gonna
Nice.
change that this weekend coming up, buddy. You're gonna change that. You're gonna have a great weekend.
Yeah, I'm not going fishing. I'm doing something. I'm going hunting.
No, you're not. You're going to Lake of Bays, aren't you?
Yeah,
Not fishing.
but yeah. Oh, I'm going fishing. I'm gonna. You
Yeah.
think
You're
you're gonna do good?
well. You're gonna do
Oh,
well.
I don't think so, man.
Yeah, man.
What do you think the slump's from? We went through this year. Remember that year
Well,
the tournament
honestly,
that just sucked?
Does it have
Yeah.
to do with a new
Like-
relationship?
No,
where your mind's
No,
not
I know. I
focused?
don't think so.
no,
Yeah.
it's got to do with time on the water. It really boosts your confidence when you're out on the water and you're catching
Mine's
fish
on
and you're
penises.
yeah,
Yeah.
penises. Oh,
Penises.
yeah. Dicks to the face. So, the more dicks to the face, the better you do. But no, if like I didn't get a lot of time on the water this year. I didn't pre-fish for a single tournament until the Classic.
Yeah.
Like
that was
not
on
a day of pre-fish, and
terrible,
we squeaked into the Classic. Thank God I got a partner that gets out sometimes to pre-fish, right?
Sometimes.
But, yeah,
Sometimes.
sometimes.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of
Who,
time.
who'd you fish with?
Chris Tatosca.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, he's got a little bit of time
rock
on his
bass.
hands.
Yeah.
he's got a little bit of time.
Rock bass champion.
Rock bass champion.
Yeah.
He trolls my account so
I
bad.
crush
Every
him
time
at rock bassing.
every time I catch anything, look like I caught like a 22-pound Chinook salmon, right? And Tataka's like, "That's a hell of a rock bass. Where'd you get it?" Everything.
No, he's a really good angler.
He is a good
and,
guy.
Yeah, I really like
hanging
Chris
out
too.
with him. And he did a lot for me this year. You know what I mean? Going out and putting all his time in to pre-fish. And I just wish I could have been a better partner. I had a couple of
Aw.
mishaps with him this year on the boat that were.
Hilarious.
Talking about it, I have no
One on
idea.
Facebook Live.
I never heard that.
You never saw those?
No.
Oh my
Really?
God, they're
Yeah, I
funny.
did. I watched them a few times.
Yeah,
You got a hook in the leg and then one in your ass.
Well, I got the first one. I got a hook through the finger. I got the old 5/0 Berkeley Fusion thick wire.
Wow, it's a serious hook.
Yeah. yeah, it was a real deal.
It's a
I was
real
on the
deal.
front of the boat and we were fishing on Sturgeon Lake, and I'm flipping a jig, and actually no, I was flipping a plastic, and I went to pitch off the front of the boat. We were fucking around. I went to pitch off the front of the boat, and my bait wrapped around my trolling motor wire.
Oh,
So I
that
bend down
sucks,
and give her
eh?
a little flick to flick her back, while the point of the hook was just sticking out of the plastic, and I buried it in my finger, right?
Oh no.
So here I am stuck to my trolling motor. The scissors are back there, and I'm like, fuck, I'm not jumping around the trolling motor here. I'm like, Chris, pass me the scissors. He's like, they're right fucking there. I'm like, Chris, pass me the scissors. He's like, what'd you do? I'm like, I need you to pass me this. I'm stuck to the trolling motor. He starts laughing. He comes up. I cut it off, and I'm like, all right. I'm like, give me the pliers. So I take the pliers and I pulled it as hard as I could twice.
Oh.
Like I pulled it, and,
Oh.
and I feel like the barb was way in there, right? And I'm like, oh man, I'm like, this ain't coming out that way, man.
No.
He's like, what do you want to do? I said, well, I'm gonna have to push it through. So I started pushing it through, and I couldn't get the proper lever. Like I got the point all the way out.
Oh,
I
my
couldn't get the
God.
barb. I couldn't get the barb to push through because it was just the way it was angled on my finger. I'm like, Chris, I'm gonna hold my finger. You push this through. Well, his fucking eyes rolled back into his head. He almost passed out. You know? I was
I
like,
could see Tataka
I was like,
doing it.
I
Yeah,
was like,
like,
Chris,
yeah.
I was like, stay with me, bud. I need you here. He's like, oh man, I don't know about this. Right? I'm like, Chris, I'm like, you got to do this for me, man. Just push it through. It's okay. So I hold it and he pushed it through. And when I don't know if you ever hooked yourself with a big hook.
Yeah.
When it comes through, it makes a pop.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Kind of like when you shoot a deer with an arrow, you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that pop? That same kind of pop, right? So it goes pop, and he stumbles. He's like down on one knee, he's ready to go. And I'm like, whoa, buddy. I'm like, hold on to her here. I'm like, pass me the side cutters. He's like, oh my God. He's like, this is crazy. So I take the side cutters, I cut it, I pull it out, I pick my rod back up. Like, as soon as I pull it out, I grab my rod and I start fishing. He's like, what the fuck is with you? He's like,
Time on the water.
how do you do this? I'm like, come on, man. We're fishing a tournament right now. What are you doing sitting there? Let's go.
All white.
You know? He's like, wow. And then I guess a couple weeks ago, we were pre-fishing for Stony Lake there, our CSFL Classic. I had a bit of an incident on the boat there with him, but we were on his boat. See, we were on my boat the first time, and I got all the stuff. Like, if you get hurt, I open heart surgery that shit, no problem. I got stuff, right? So we're on his boat.
Chris just joined, by the way.
Chris Tatosco.
Yeah.
There's my
His
buddy.
ears must have
He must itchy head.
Oh yeah, he's hearing it. So we're on his boat, and earlier in the morning I cut off a popper, and I don't remember, like we're fishing fish go. So I cut the popper off. I don't know what I did with it. I imagine it got tangled up in my rods because I went off the front deck, down to my rods, grabbed a rod, went running back up on the top deck, And as I took that stride up onto the deck where you lift your leg up, I felt a hook bury into my leg. And I was like, oh, and both my legs were stuck together.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh, and I'm like, fuck. So Chris looks at me. He's like, what? And I look down just below my dick.
Which is about 12 inches down.
I got a treble hook stuck. I got a treble hook stuck in one leg, and I got a treble just into my pants on the other one. So I got real lucky about it. But I'm like, Chris, I'm like, this is right through my underwear, right through my leg. Man. I'm like, it ain't coming out either. I gotta push it through. So I'm like, give me the side cutters.
Same day.
No, not same day.
Okay,
No,
okay,
another
okay,
day.
Okay.
So I'm like, give me the side cutters. So he's like, here you go. He passes me like these little wee, like Rapella needle nose.
This is what Ian would have too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm like, what
Yeah,
is
when you
that?
have
He's like, those are my
Get a
side
pair of
cutters. I'm
scissors.
like, those aren't even pliers. I'm like, where are they? Where'd you get those? He's like, well, I got a new pair in my glove box. I'm like, okay, so I open up his glove box, I reach in, this pair is all rusted to shit. I'm like, yeah.
It's like a staph infection.
Yeah. I'm like, this is sweet. So I'm like, here I am. I got my legs stuck together.
This is all on Facebook Live too.
Yeah. Well,
Joe.
Well, this is where it comes in. I'm like, I gotta call Joey. I knew my buddy Joey Ford was up there pre-fishing. I'm like, Joey's got side cutters. I fish with Joe a lot, so I call up Joe, and I'm like, Joe. He's like, hello. I'm like, Joey, you got side. I'm like, Joey, you got a pair of side cutters? He's like, oh. he knows what's up. He's like, where are you? I said, meet us at the mouth of this river. I gave him the river name. He's like, okay. So he comes over, and he was there right before we were. And as we come up to him, he's got the phone out. And he's like, this is gold, bud. This is too good to waste. I'm like, Joey, seriously, man. He's like, nope, seriously, this is too good to waste. I'm like, all right. So
at this point too, I want to throw in here that Joe's got the phone on his boat right beside Sean sitting in the chair, and Tataska's on the front deck facing the camera doing like the play-by-play.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Well, I took the hook off the popper, and because the one I pushed through my leg and I had it sticking out my pants again, and the other two hooks were through my pants, and I broke a Senko up. And I stuck it on all the points for the boat
Safety
ride.
first.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's right down there with the pork and beans, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're in a bump.
A piece of soft plastic to protect that hook.
Well, you know, so we got over to Joey, and Joey saved the day with the side cutters. I cut her out, and it was good. But as I cut it out, I sat back
gets
down,
better.
and on my boat, usually my rods are on the front deck. Well, I'm sitting beside all my rods in his boat, and I had a jerk bait right here. And I fucking sat on the jerk bait. I got the fucking jerk bait trouble in the ass. So I got that out.
We're still on Facebook Live too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got it in the ass. I got it in the ass twice, probably. Because I got that one out, and I sat on it again. But then I broke it. I broke the one off, and I still had the hook sticking out of my pants there. So. But that was. But that really summed up my whole fishing season.
Hook in the ass.
Yeah, like that was my whole fishing season. Like you see that story about this is me gliding through 2017. It's a kid falling down the hill. You know.
Do you remember when you launched that crankbait in the back of my head
Which time?
at Rice Lake in the tournament?
Yeah.
Chris wants to add. He said that Sean sat on the jerkbait 4 times.
I don't know about 4. It was twice for sure that I felt it.
And before we go any farther, we mentioned Joe. I think we should just
Congratulate
give a big
them.
shout out.
Him and Linda on their new baby.
Yep, little Tristan. Welcome to the
Yes,
world, little
welcome.
buddy.
Oh yeah.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the shit
Uncle
show.
Shawnee can't wait to get his hands on him.
Yeah, they're home now. They're home now.
So we're in a tournament. I think it's top bass event. We run all the way down Rice Lake.
Yeah.
We get to this point, and there's going to be smallies. We jump up. I get to the trolling motor, and Kevin Van Dam here with his crankbait, right?
What kind
Big-
of crankbait?
Like a big deep diver.
There we go.
Something
Yeah.
with some weight to
That's
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he launches this right off the back of my skull, right? Buries it into my head, bends the hook out on the free throw, and then casts out. You know what this son of a bitch says to me? You bent my hook, Dick. I have the hat upstairs with the big round blood mark. Yeah.
Nice.
And it went in and it just cut and then out.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, straighten the hook out.
On the back of
Well, that was
his
a
head.
dick move, West. Well, why are you hugging the front deck?
Yeah.
You know?
And that was a good. And I got you once with a muscular suck the hat off your head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was a close
it was
one.
close.
Ooh.
We got it on
close.
camera. It's on the
You know-
FearFishing YouTube page.
We had to take my brother to the hospital once. He stabbed him in the leg while he was skinning a bear once. Whole different story, but well,
You seem to have a lot of these.
yeah, these things happen sometimes. But anyway, while he was in there, he looked up on the wall, and while the doctor was stowing him up, there was all these hooks in this corkboard, and the doctor was like, "Yep, I pulled all those out of people." He's like, "See that one there, the big musky hook?" Eh? He's like, "I took that out of a guy's scrotum." that was like the doctor's prize.
Yeah, it was in the middle.
Right out of,
He had a little light
it could
shining
always
on
be
it.
worse, right? It could always be worse.
He got me one time too on a hook set, and he hit me in the head with my flipping jig.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're always in a bad spot, always.
I don't
Yeah.
think there's a fisherman out there that hasn't got a hook to him.
I've never got a hook buried in me.
No?
Don't
No,
say it.
I've
Don't-
never had
don't.
one like that I had to pull out.
I've had like tear outs, that's it.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
in and
Like,
out.
real quick.
I
I had the
had-
one with the lake trout where I grabbed it and it ripped like
Yeah,
I tried to grab it and it just ripped everything right out.
we've hit each other a lot with chunks of tungsten,
Yeah.
like setting hook and them
Yeah,
coming
that
back, and
feels
like
great.
like
That's why it's
paintballs.
very important to wear sunglasses out there, kiddies.
For sure. Was it Gerard or Jared who got it in? Remember
Jared, I think.
Jared,
In the eye.
and, like smashed
yeah,
his,
it was Jared.
blew his glasses up.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, wear glasses, kids. You got me. It was like 3 days later too,
It was.
because we were like, "Oh, look, way to go, Jared! Get out of the way of my fucking jig." Yeah, right here, like hit me just like square. I thought it like got hit by like a rocket. It
Oh
hurt.
yeah, well it is basically
Yeah.
a rocket.
Yeah, well, there was a lady at Ladies' Night, the CSFL event that she
Because
goes
it's
to,
ladies' night.
got a jig in the eye, and
Yeah,
No way.
yeah.
3/4 ounce jig, and
Oh.
you
Oh.
No,
and
that
it
was
it
our
was-
ladies' night.
right, and it was just before that her boater said, "Hey, listen, you need some sunglasses."
Greg Roth.
Really?
It was
Right.
Greg Roth's boat.
No way.
And you know
Yeah.
what's funny? Greg Roth is a sunglass guy,
Yeah.
right? So if he wasn't a sunglass guy, he probably wouldn't have said, "Hey, you should be wearing some
Yeah, yeah.
sunglasses." So he gives her these glasses, and he said, not even 5 minutes later, he's watching his jig. It goes sideways. The fish comes out with the jig in his mouth. He goes, boom, sets hook. Doesn't it just let go of the jig, and it goes firing back like
Oh.
a bullet. She turns around, whap, right in the head.
Right in the eye.
I was
right
down
in
at the
the eye.
river one time when I was
Totally
about
smoked her.
Okay?
15.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, she had a black
had a big
eye and
bruise,
she was
but-
cut.
She
Yeah.
didn't have the hook in her eye.
No,
Okay.
because
That
of the
saved
glasses.
her eye for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I was down at the river when I was 15 during the salmon season, and a guy snag bottom with egg weight, 3/4 ounce. You know, reel it up. Grab a hold.
Carolina rigging for
Carolina rigging for Chinooks. The line broke, and the weight went right through the back window of his van, like
Oh, man.
exploded it. And I was like, and from there on out, anytime I ever seen somebody like grab a hold of that line and start pulling, hands over the head.
Oh yeah.
It's dangerous out there.
And that's for salmon fishing?
Yeah,
The
there-
Willows was always the sketchiest place.
That's where it was too,
Yeah.
right beside the
You just see
bridge,
the tree like bending. They're just like pulling and pulling and pulling. You're like, oh
Yeah.
god, here we go.
or the float. The float.
float, yeah.
You're coming back with the
That'll
little-
stab you.
Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if one of those would go right through you.
I don't know.
Sure. It would.
Certainly the way.
Traveling fast enough? Of course it would. Anything would go through you.
Ed Vino says, or is it, how do you say that?
I'll fuck it up. I'm not saying it.
Vino, Vieno,
If you knew.
Vino, Ed
Vino.
Vino.
They knew.
He says he's getting you guys hockey equipment for fishing trips.
It would help a lot.
That'd be
Thanks, Daddy.
super hot and
That-
super
that-
sweaty.
That's taking all the fun out of it.
For sure.
Why is Tundra so sleepy?
Tundra.
It should be Marley that's
Just
sleeping.
gonna, yeah, Marley. In his
Marley's eyes are glazed over. He's fine.
he doesn't even know where he is.
He'll be fine.
He doesn't even know where he is.
Is it Tuesday yet?
It's super hot in here.
It is super hot in here. We're sweating
That's
to the
your
oldies.
detoxing.
The weights are a scary thing.
Oh yeah, man. They can
I can't think of there's.
They'll take a chunk out of your gel coat, but what do you think they're gonna do?
You
Oh,
ever
buddy,
seen-
I got
Yeah.
chunks out of my boat like
Yeah,
crazy
yeah, I
with
do.
the jigs.
I do too. Oops,
from
sorry, man.
crazy. That's what I don't
I
understand.
put lots
I
of
don't,
chips
I
in
don't
your boat.
understand why
Oops, sorry, man.
all these real expensive fish finders, they don't have like a protective
I've
screen,
thought about that
clear
too.
screen that you can, just like our Lowrance one, the white one. Why don't they have a clear one that you can put over while you're fishing or driving or
Yeah,
whatever?
you know what? Even from the backside, one of those weights hit, it'd go right through the thing.
I don't know.
You know,
No,
no?
they're pretty tough.
Yeah, they're pretty tough.
Yeah.
It'd probably save your screen. And those units now, you got a 12, you're looking around 5 Gs, right? for
That's
that,
crazy money.
I don't think I could
Unbelievable.
flip around one. Seriously.
You know.
Like I don't know how guys fish with them.
Or have 2 of them.
It's
Yeah.
it's really surprising over the years that one of us didn't get seriously. We've never gone in. Where did I fall? Do you remember that? I remember
I was in the Triton.
in the Triton when I fell.
Tri Lakes, yeah.
Yeah, I would
Trying
like
to jump the
backing up.
console.
Yo, I tried to jump the console and I didn't make it.
Was that on camera?
No.
And you
Should
stepped
be.
on the side the one time and slipped.
Yeah, I
almost
slept.
did.
I almost went in. Like, you know, like in the morning, like flip flops on the gunwale. Like instead of standing on the carpet, 1 foot on the gunwale, I almost went in.
Yeah.
No, you
That
guys.
was
that's
close
what
one.
you get
You're
for
like laying
stepping
on all the rods.
fiberglass.
Yeah, like right down on the rods.
I fell out of a bass boat in the parking lot once.
Parking lot.
Yeah, the parking lot. And, yeah, I went. Well, I was up in the boat. It was on the trailer, and I turned around. I went to step in the little, the little footholes.
Yeah, yeah.
The little wee fucking things.
Yeah.
Why aren't they this big? Why they gotta be this big? Why they gotta be so fucking small? Right? So I got like just the tip of my toe in there, and off
No
I went.
way.
And I had all my gear too. It was a guide trip I was on, right? I got all my gear. Of course, when you go on a guide trip, you take like 15 rods, 10 tackle boxes. The guy's got all the shit, but you take all your shit. I was that,
Look what I
I was
got.
that guy.
Yeah, look what I got.
Yeah, I was that guy.
The what is the oddest thing? So we've all like met people and went fishing for them the first time. What's the weirdest thing you guys have ever had somebody show up with?
Probably their lunch box bigger than their tackle box.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
I've had.
No, they're not sharing.
I love that.
Sunflower seeds all over your boat.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think the funniest thing
I've
is.
had cherries left in my cooler. Didn't know they were there.
No way.
Yeah.
I've
That's
found some
brutal.
interesting stuff in
Yeah.
my cooler over the years.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. The shit, I had something. Oh, the Fenwick box. I had somebody show up one time with a Fenwick box. It was like from the 80s. It was like that big. It looked like a tool chest.
Yeah, no, I've seen. Yeah, people have got on my boat with
So
that.
when they got there,
It's
I
made
was
by
like,
Snap-on. It's so freaking big.
when they got there, I was like, you do understand there's nothing, like there's nowhere to put that in a bass boat. Like nowhere. It's bigger than my boat. What could you possibly need in there? And then they busted out and they got like a whole bunch of countdown repellers and hula poppers on the top row. And I was like, I got stuff. Just go put it in your car. We'll be fine.
See, that was the only time I was ever a non-boater. That one guide trip I went on in Texas, and all the rest of the time I've always been a boater.
I've always been a boater too.
Yeah, always. I've never had the chance to take all of my shit.
It sucks being a non once you're a boater.
Well, Marley's
Yeah.
got it.
Dumbing
Marley's got it
down
down to
your
a like an art.
Yeah, but he still doesn't have everything he wants.
No, I.
Yeah, because I have everything else he needs.
Yeah.
That makes a big
This is
difference
true.
too, though.
You've never seen any like every time we go fishing, he shows up and he's got his rods hanging halfway out the back of his truck and they're looped together, knotted, right? He's got like the bare essentials. We go fishing, and every time, like it doesn't even matter. He like I've been in tournaments with him where the rods were like crisscrossed, like 40 rods in a bundle. He'll break off a line, refuse to retie it, and it's that's 6 foot, like, and it starts spider webbing at 70 miles an hour, and he'll just be like, armful right in the back of the truck, right, and off he goes in the sunset, and then I've had him show up in the morning with it not even been out of the back of the truck and just throw it. I'll retie it when we get there. I'm not even
That's how I
kidding you.
roll, man.
I'm not even like the biggest mess you can think of in your mind of rods. That isn't even close to what Marley has going on on,
You know,
in a
I
tournament.
see all the guys with like their rod holders, like their like the protectors and stuff, and they're selling them. I'm like, what is all this nonsense? Holy, what a joke!
I like the
Eat a dick. I put all my
Oh,
So do I. So do I.
What a waste of time.
I have
Seriously.
a nice Velcro
Cares?
strap to
Well,
keep it.
they go in the rod holder so much easier when they're in that. They don't break the gut.
Rod holder.
Yeah, well,
I remember we fished Gugog one time. We stopped at that marina on the like blast off on the left hand side.
Yeah.
So
West Shore.
we stopped the boat. I ran up to the front. I grabbed his St. Croix Triumph rod, flicker open, fired under this duck, set hook, and 5-pounder comes up. And the first, what does he say to me? That's 8-pound mono you got there. Yeah.
that's awesome.
So I got her in though.
Sure you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been throwing. We used to have a 12 years ago. We had a Gamma pro staff position. You were actually you still have one of those spools of line that you're carrying around in the back of your truck that you're using this year.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
I've used
god.
it for years, man.
8-year-old line.
Oh yeah, I don't
No,
care.
12-year-old line.
12-year-old. Yeah, it's a long time.
It has been a long time.
It
yeah,
breaks in
and,
the spool all the time, but whatever. Who cares?
Holy shit.
I got tons of it.
I saw him. I don't remember I was in the back of his truck, but I was like, you still got that. It was like one of
It's
those.
turned yellow. Like it used to be a white spool, and the spool's yellow now.
It's one of those like 18 miles of line, and I'm like,
the
you're still using
3,300
it?
yard ones.
I'm like, you're still using this? And he's like, yeah, I'm not fishing tournaments this year.
Wow.
I don't care.
He catches fish. I don't know how he does it.
That's like everybody's talking about these like FG knots and all this nonsense. It's like, man, we've been fishing tournaments for so long. I use the shittiest knots. Like we always got them in. So
You know
like,
what?
blown
The
out. I don't-
only time we
I
ever
don't care. It's so stupid. I'm not
The-
wasting my time learning all this new stuff.
I use one nut.
I just want to go catch fish.
the only time we ever lost fish during tournaments is when we tried to use that damn net.
Yeah.
Like if somebody,
know.
remember when we got the fish? I got it hung up on a log jam. I stood on his toes while he went underwater and like dug it. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Dug it out of the tree, like basically unhooked it underwater and came up with the fish. We tried net a 7-pound smallmouth, gone. Bounced it off the rim 12 times. There was a new rule that probably happened like 6 years ago, and if it was under 5 pounds, flip it in the boat, like no matter what.
Yeah.
Because every time we like, we
It depends on how you're fishing.
No.
Just the whole
even
tournament, we did like
everything.
17 pounds of smallies with no
Yeah.
net.
no net.
We just hand bombed them
No,
all.
we never even
Really?
showed up to the
Yeah.
tournament with a net.
Yeah, we forgot it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One guy scoop her in, the other guy just give her the
Grab it.
flick in the boat. Yeah, no problem. Done. I'm telling you, we lost tournaments because one of us idiots would go to net a fish and you'd have like
Hit
a
the
jerk
line.
bait in the net and the 6-pounder flopping on the other side while the other one screams at him going, I knew we shouldn't have used a net.
Oh, no.
Or you're like, hold on, I got the net, and then you instantly like put your rod tip down to give slack, right?
Yeah.
If you just kept them coming, you'd be in. But you're like, okay, the net's coming. I'll just ease off this fish a bit and wait for the net.
We even got
Wrong.
to
That
a
false sense of
period.
security.
Yeah, gone.
We even got to a period where this guy wouldn't keep anything under 3 pounds. Like he would catch an 18-inch fish and throw it back when we had no fish in the boat.
Whoa.
I'm not even kidding ya.
That's the next level shit right there.
Yeah, man, that's confidence.
I'm not even joking. He would take fish and he'd just throw them. He'd be like, "I'm not calling this later." Throw it back. 2.5, 2.25.
Not
2
even
and a
worth
half.
my time.
Yeah, throw it back.
Wow.
You know, I just noticed Marty doesn't have any of these. Was he reading lips?
Yeah, he's reading lips tonight.
Good job, buddy. What am I saying?
Tosca wants to know if that was a 5-pound rock bass under the.
Yeah,
rock.
see? Marty's Hugh Hefner in it over there. He don't need headphones. He's got it all
I
up
can hear you
here.
guys perfectly.
we look cool, though, right?
But yeah,
Pilot
imagine
shit.
the look. And he did. It wasn't like it was a team discussion about how we were no longer keeping anything under 3 pounds. He'd just land the first fish of the morning, look at me, and be like, "Nope."
Wow.
2-pounder, right? I catch one. He'd be like, "You're not putting that in the well." He's like, "That's not how you win tournaments."
I gotta come fishing with you more.
Yeah. No shit. But then, another time we dumped a bag of fish that would have put us in like the top 10 of the CSFL event. Remember that?
Yeah, that was stupid.
Come into Hastings.
Stupid.
We hear 17 pounds. We had maybe had like 15. We hear 17. We hear 21. Right? And we weren't fishing for the classic. And we were like, oh, there's no way we cast a check. So we dump 15 and change off, like just throw them back, put the boat on trailer, get home. 15th place was like 15 pounds was third place.
No,
We
shit.
just heard 2 big bags and the rest of the field dump shit the bed.
Oh,
That's dumb.
Yeah, and then
Lesson learned.
lesson learned. Don't be dumping fish. That's the
Not
only time I
15
never weighed
pounds.
in.
well, we went out I
Well,
went with my
fuck.
buddy Mike. He needed to he wanted to try to qualify for the classic. So we went and fished tri-lakes together, and we had a terrible day, man. It was just like I'm not lying when I tell you I suck at fishing. Like we had a brutal day, and we caught 1 fish. And at the end of the day, he's like, you know what? I really don't want to go through the embarrassment of weighing in 1 fish. Huck the fish over the boat. I'm like, I've already qualified. Like, it doesn't matter to me. You know, like he wanted to qualify and fish by himself for the classic. And if he had to weighed in that 1 fish,
You would have made it.
he would have made the classic.
No way.
Oh,
Hey, hey.
freaking-
Tell the
We
story.
did a culling. We did a culling mistake one time too.
Yeah, we
Cost
did
us
really
something.
bad.
Tatoska knows about culling mistakes.
Listen,
don't
listen.
You, Tatoska?
Tell them the story about the snap-on guy who fished the Quinny event with you. What he want to do with the fish at the end of the day.
Oh, he's like, yeah. How much?
Whoa,
weight
whoa,
do you
whoa,
think we
whoa,
got?
whoa, whoa. So he the snap-on guy from work wants to fish tournaments, and Marley takes him. What'd you guys have? Maybe like 13 pounds?
Yeah, like a Quinny day, like the clones, right?
Yeah,
So
clone day.
12 and a half, 13
This is a
pounds.
good story.
So then we're like weighing in. He's like, "How do you think we made out?" And I'm like, "We'll be like middle of the pack, guaranteed, right?" And he's like, "So do you want to just like not weigh these in and keep them?" And I was like, "No, not really, man. Like to be honest, I'm like, I need the points and stuff." He's like, "Yeah, but like, how many points are you really gonna get?" And like, I'd really like to have a nice fish fry and stuff. And I was like, "Dude." I'm like, come back tomorrow with your own boat. Like,
I got a question. How many of you guys got scales in your
I
boat?
do.
I
Do you,
do.
do you weigh fish
And,
during
and
tournament?
culling beam.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
We've never weighed
exactly
a fish
what I
during a
got.
tournament.
What?
We've never weighed a fish during a
No,
tournament
never.
ever. We have a calling beam, but we
Takes so
hardly
much
ever
time.
use that. You see?
Well, you want to talk about ounces. When we just fished the classic on Stony Lake, you're catching fish like it's Dink City up there. You know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean? You come in with 12, 13 pounds a day, you're doing good.
Yeah.
You're making day 3. So, well, maybe 14 pounds a day, I think, got you there. But you, like, we were calling like 1-1 to 1-9s. Like, they were just clones. And just to keep those ounces, you really had to
But
weigh
you
all those
use
fish.
a beam, right?
Eh?
This is how we call fish in the FearFishing boat. Marley, you should probably call that. Which one looks bigger?
That's what I do.
I think the one on the left looks bigger. And then Marley will go, they're both under 3 pounds. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, and when he lands a hog, you know what he does? He puts it on the right side of the boat and he goes, we won't be calling him. And that's how it goes. We once in the, was it the Classic on?
Tri-Lakes Classic.
No, not Tri Lakes.
I know we
Rice Lake, when we thought we had 19 pounds of smallies and we left and we only had 16,
yeah, that was
17
stupid
change.
too.
We left and we should have kept going. It was a huge mistake, but we both were like,
Oh, was it a 2-day event?
I don't know.
2 single days.
2 single days. So the first day we thought we had 19.
legit, I thought we had
And
19
you and
pounds.
you were checking out early?
Yeah, we left. We went to find a largemouth
Early?
early. We thought we had 19 pounds. And this is like 5 or 6 years ago where 19 pounds was going to do it, right?
Yeah.
So we were going to run up the river and get a 5-pound largemouth and win this fucking shit, right? So we get to the weigh-in and we had like 16 or 17 pounds. And we both looked at each other like, fuck, we should have kept. And they were hitting. We left them when they were biting
Really?
because we were
did
saving them
again.
for day 2.
Yeah, we did 16
Yeah.
again the next day.
Well, you
too.
kind of did the right thing if your math
No,
was
we
better.
didn't.
If your math was better.
We should have.
Yeah.
No, we should have just. It's a 1-day tournament. You go for the win, right?
Yeah, we
You
should
said
have.
it was
just-
2 days.
But it
it's
was- no,
two
it was
singles-
two
two
singles.
separate days.
We were like 8th place and 8th place, and we should have just clean clock the
Yeah.
day 1.
Just destroy them.
Yeah, we shouldn't even have left them.
Guys, like, why'd you leave? We were
Oh
starting
man,
to get
you
4
know,
pounders
you
after.
know how many times we blew like, we should have won that top Tri Lakes Classic. If we wouldn't blown that engine up and hadn't killed your trim switch,
Oh, we would. I don't think
we would have
but-
won. We never even got to our spot.
You guys sound like a fuck show fishing show.
It is.
like the real deal.
So we had. So here's the plan. I'll guarantee you, if we made it 100 yards off blast off, and my Evans screw blew up, and we stopped, and we were like, fish. We weighed 15 or 16 and change day 1 of the Classic, and I'll guarantee you, if we would have made it our first pot, we would have got 2 5-pound largemouth. Like they were there waiting for us, and we never even fished
You,
that.
you had them in your baskets.
See, I think this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would have got it. I would guarantee you what we had.
I
And
think
then,
blowing up the engine saved it. Seriously,
you think so?
I do.
So
'Cause we
day
fished the
2,
shit out of the little stuff. we
like
had.
nothing. Well, you know the round we did during the vlog?
Yeah, yeah.
That's where we fished. On my trolling motor. Blew my engine.
Disappointment Bay.
It wasn't that day.
No.
So day 2. So day 1 we were in 11th place.
No, we were at day 1. We were in 8th.
8th. Right? We finished in
After
11th
the
place.
year
We
the
finished
8th.
11th overall.
Right? We finished 11th overall. On day 2, I think we weighed in like 16.
13.
Did we?
Yeah, it was.
We should have weighed in over 20 pounds. We hooked over 20 pounds of fish. I missed that fish on that dock like 3 times. 5-pounder. Come out, grab it. I don't even want to talk about what happened. But it was like there. In the last 5 minutes, he hooked a cow. Lost a fish.
That's one thing I got into a little bit more this year. I'm not usually a dock guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got the chance to fish with some guys that really good dock fishermen. You know, like I watched Gooch pulled like 16 or 17 fish off one dock a few weeks ago.
No way.
One
Yeah,
dock, right in a
unreal.
row, just boom, 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 like nothing. And my partner, Kristen Tosca, this guy can put a Senko in your butthole from 20 yards.
No way.
Like, you bend over, show him a little hole. He's going in there and seeing if there's a 5-pounder in there. He'll
Wait,
pull
how's
one
he
in.
rigging
I
it?
wanna call-
How
I
is it
wanna see
wacky
this.
rigged or Texas?
Yeah.
It's wacky rigged.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
So
eh?
he can line it up. Crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. He can put it right.
Texas
in
rig, I can believe that. I don't know
there.
about wacky.
He's
though.
got
We've
me. I'm the
I gotta
worst.
see this.
I'm the worst Senko skipper. I'm wrapping docks. I'm around ropes. I'm hitting the guy that owns the dock, standing there pissed off at you. I suck at
I
dock
don't
fishing.
I don't even know how we do it. Like it is like total chaos on our boat on tournament day. Like I've caught fish, like he'll flip the dock and I'll throw a jig like out in the middle of nowhere, catch a fish. Like when it's going, when we were like consistently like, remember the 8th place year? Finished 8th place in every tournament we fished the whole year.
Yeah.
We could have caught fish anywhere, like anywhere. I'm
I
telling
got
you.
a smallie on Shamong in like all that goose shit
Yeah.
stuff.
Do you remember when I showed you that spot?
Yeah, yeah.
I cast like he's fishing the docks and I cast the wrong way, just like out to nowhere, and then all of a sudden like boom, 4-pounder.
All those deep weed. Remember when I was on Shamong? I was throwing the jig out there and I was like bouncing it back, pound fish. Like we couldn't do anything wrong. We just 8th place every tournament.
Yeah.
Like the whole year, 8th place. Would play, and it was all because Emma said her favorite number was 8.
She should have said it was one.
One. That's what I thought. I asked her before the beginning of the year. I said, "What's your favorite number?" She said 8. We finished 8th place the whole year.
And I said my favorite number was 11, and you finished 11. Didn't you finish 11?
In the classic.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry.
Thanks.
It was ones. It had 2 ones in it.
But I'm not even kidding you. Like, do you remember when I caught that big fish on the Autonomy River when those guys were moving in on the spot?
Yep.
Guys are moving up the side,
That's
and
the
we're
year
coming
after.
down, right? And I was like, Mario, we got to fish that tree. And I'm not kidding you. I grab a hold of my rod and reel with a flipping jig. I cast as far as I could, like bomb cast. Hits the water right beside the tree, and all we do is watch. And Mike Williams, watch. Remember, because they were cutting across, hits the tree, starts swimming out in deep water, set hook, 5.5-pounder. And these guys were. They could have flipped the tree.
They were coming the other way
Yeah.
up, and I swear the fish jumped on their side when he said hook.
That's how you know things are going well.
We were going up that way, and they were just.
We were coming down.
We're
They
coming to
were
a point.
coming
They
up.
were racing for one tree.
And as soon as I
And
said
he
hook,
hooked it.
Mike Williams started laughing from the other side of the river. That's the day we saw Spiro under the tree with the frog.
Yeah.
And he set hook. This fish jumps, and Spiro set hook on him in the air.
Yeah, it was cool.
And he was out of the wood by the time he hit the ground.
That's cool.
It was awesome.
That's cool.
Right on, Spiro.
It was really, really cool. Like,
Spiro made final day of the FLW championship.
I think I seen him in the hot seat for a little while.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
first
nice.
to weigh in.
I really like
Yeah.
Spiro. I miss Spiro on tour. Give us some.
Too.
He
I like
really
Spiro.
told us some
He's a
good
good guy.
stories, eh?
I do
Yeah,
miss
he's
a lot
good.
of the tournament stuff.
Pardon?
I do miss that part of the tournament stuff.
I do miss that part of the tournaments.
I miss the
I don't really miss the
boys.
whole fishing part though, but like
Whenever I used to get
The hangout
nervous before a
stuff is-
tournament, I would go find Spiro and he would tell me some ridiculous story, and I'd feel so much better. Yeah, I'd be like, "Where's Spiro? I need a story."
I don't
I
miss
miss
the 1 o'clock. Oh, what do we do now?
Glasgow.
All bummed out. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those times suck. I almost ran Spiro over one time in the fog too, pre-fishing on Big Rito.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Real close. I almost killed him.
In the fog?
Yeah,
That's some dangerous shit.
Yeah,
fog,
man.
eh?
yeah.
We were out on Kentucky Lake, Danny McGarry and I, earlier this year, and it was foggy. I think the second day we were there,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's boat lanes down there too, right? Like they're pretty wide boat lanes.
Not like fork
They-
boat lanes.
Not like Lake Fork boat lanes. Wider than that. But like it's
Scary.
Like, it's a really windy lake, like crazy windy. And we were ripping, and all I was doing was staring at my GPS, following the black line from the day before. And that was it. And it was pretty sketchy.
That doesn't work out too hot.
Yeah,
No.
it was pretty sketchy. We got there.
Have you guys ever? I'm going to be
The
embarrassed
Brockville
because
run was the worst.
that was scary
Passing
shit.
buoys on the wrong side on the body
That
water.
was really
never
sick.
run before.
Remember when we passed the ferry and the cowboy on the? So we're coming back. We have, what do we have? Like 25 pounds, 26.
Yeah, 20.
We had a huge bag of fish anyway, smallmouth from Lake Ontario. We're coming back, and there's one of those Thousand Island tour boats.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were moving that
It narrows
fast.
all through there too.
I
It's
never
sketchy.
even thought about like how big the wake was going to be, and we'd already passed freighters that day, like with 20-foot wakes, like nothing. I hit this wake behind this boat, and my Stratus goes in the air, and on the back, I remember looking over at the Thousand Island boat. On the back, there was a guy. This is 35 degrees out. He's got cowboy boots on, black jeans, a purple dress shirt, and a great big cowboy hat. And all I hear is, yeah! And his shoe went straight up, and they had. I hit like a 6-foot wake at like 68, 69 mile an hour.
I did that a few weeks ago out on out on Kuchiching. I hit it was two big boats. The one big boat cut in front. Like it was crazy. This guy was outside the boat lane and came ripping into the boat lane just in front of this other. There was like 2 50-footer boats, like monsters, and like flying both of them too. I don't know what they were doing, but I ended up ripping over to the one side of the boat lane, and they came. The buddy came right by me, and as I went by them, it was like both of their wakes. You know, like
Oh,
where they
yeah,
both
yeah,
collide.
yeah.
Well, I hit that and I skyrocketed. When I seen I was going to hit it, I just put the hammer down, right? Best thing I could do. I didn't want to spear it or land short into the next one. So I just went for it. And I gave her and I just shot. I shot right up. And when I came down, I hit halfway on the boat onto the next wave and just boom.
Did you land on a jerkbait?
No. No. Not at all. So we just me and my co-angler, we took off down the lake and we were fishing. We got to the next spot. We were fishing for like 15 minutes, and I was facing off the front, and he was fishing off the back. And like 15 minutes later, I hear, I turn around. I'm like, "What? Fish?" He's like, "No, water." I look, and my boat is full of water right up to the seat. I'm like, "Dude, we cracked the hull." We cracked the hull and we hit those waves. Like, what else could it be? Like, I'm like, we're fucked. I'm like, why isn't the bilge on? So I switched the bilge on. I forgot to turn the bilge to automatic. So I switched the bilge on. It took like half an hour to get the water to go down, right? So I'm like, dude, it was 11:30 in the morning. I'm like, dude, we gotta get the boat out of the water, man. I gotta see what's up with this boat. You know, it's kind of stressful. He's like, yeah, no problem, man. If we gotta go, you know, I said, I'm like, we'll get you on another boat. He's like, I don't even care, man. Like, let's go. So when we got back to the launch, I looked in the back and I could see water. Like the water had subsided so much now, I could look in the back, and I could see water coming in from the back. And as soon as I seen that, I'm like, no problem. I'm like, either we blew the plug out of the back or like we blew an intake valve or something. I'm like, we didn't crack the hull. I'm like, I know we're gonna be fine. So we pulled it out of the water. I pulled the batteries out, pulled out the subfloor there, and it was my live well intake.
Yeah.
It's got 2 hoses.
Yep.
Blew them both off, and the water was just rushing in the back. So I pulled out the old zip ties, got her all zip tied back together.
Nice.
Right?
Good to go.
Yeah, it was good to go. We went back fishing, and we ended up coming in, I think, last.
Yeah,
But hey, we went back out fishing and we had fun.
I was there.
It's tense as soon as you hit that wake, and you're like, I'm fucked.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember we hit the one on the Scugog River on the wakeboard boat?
Oh yeah.
Same thing. Scoop fishing.
You ever
sturgeon?
speared a wave?
Yes, on Lake
Yeah.
Simcoe.
You ever
in
like
November.
totally filled your boat?
Yep,
Yeah.
in Lake Simcoe.
Yeah.
I did on trying to cross Big Bay.
Yeah.
No way.
Legit, I almost sunk it, man.
Last
No
year,
way.
right?
Yeah, I had like water because I had the Yamaha stickers. I looked back and there's water. It sunk so much. The water was up to the Yamaha logo. It looked like Cooper's boat, seriously. But I was in the middle of Big Bay.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It's
That's
scary
awesome.
shit.
Scary.
We speared a wave on trying to go in the Lake Simcoe Open in November, trying to go from Barrie to Thor Island. Everything was going real good, and one gapped and filled the boat.
I was up at.
And I just had Ashton. I was like, I'm not dying out here.
Wow,
I did that
man.
on coming because that day on Big Bay, as soon as I hit Deserano, like coming through the gap in Deserano, like towards Big Bay, that big whatever the reach is there.
Yeah.
As soon as I got close to Big Bay, I kept taking one over the bow, over and over again, nonstop. I got like a quarter of the way through.
Really?
I speared a wave every single wave the whole entire time.
Yikes.
It was. I kept pulling the rod holders off. Like my rods would come off, and it was insane, man.
It's brutal. I was up at Balsam Lake, at Gooch's Cottage for opening walleye, and it got really shitty out. And he was like, "Well, you guys want to go out? And we can go around here, and we'll be out of the wind." And I'm like, I think I'm gonna go across the lake. He looks at me, and he's like, "No." He's like, "You don't want to go across the lake?" I said, "I think I'm gonna go for it." He's looking at me. He's like, "You don't want to go across the lake, man?" He's like, "I fucking live here. You don't want to go across the lake, man." I'm like, "No, I think I'm gonna go for it." We got like halfway, and I was like, "We shouldn't have fucking done this. What are we thinking?" Me and Eric Nodebeck, we're going for it. No, big mistake, man. We speared a couple waves, and it was cold too. We filled the boat with water. We got the waves in the face. We were soaked, and we were like, "Man, wish we had listened to Gooch. Let's just go back."
The closest, the scariest trip I ever taken on a boat was from Coburg to Port Hope in your Lund. I thought we were going to die. I thought we were toast. And it was like, we went there and it was flat, and by the time we get back, the wind was blowing right in our face in his 17.5-foot Lund. Yeah. And I thought we were going to die.
My scariest was Scugog.
I thought we were going to die.
Scugog from Lake Island Marina there to Caesarea.
No way.
Like a 14-foot tiller.
That is scary.
It was crazy.
Remember when we went up pre-fishing for, that was a long time ago, one of the like firefighter walleye event on Rice Lake, and your engine kept coming out of the water?
Yeah. That was all the time with that boat, though.
That was pretty scary.
There was a pretty crazy story about a guy pre-fishing for the OBN qualifier, was there not?
Oh, yeah. Some guy got sucked down into the rapids.
Who? What?
Yeah. One of the anglers pre-fishing. They fished it the day before, caught fish there, so they went to do it again. So he lined himself up. He went right into where he was catching the fish, put the trolling motor on, wouldn't do it. It wouldn't work. Something was going on. By that time, they're sucked down into the rapids. So for 2 hours, they burnt 3/4 of a tank of gas, flinging rocks with the main motor, trying to get out of these rapids. Wow. They weren't really losing game, but they weren't gaining anything either. You see, there was rocks flying on the back deck that they were kicking up. 2 hours, this Yamaha kept going, banging on rocks.
Wow.
So anyways, they finally got over to the shore with help from rescue guys. They brought the chopper in first. They wanted to pull him out. He's a big guy. He says, no fucking way I'm going in that chopper, man. So they got to the other side, to the Quebec side.
Where was this on?
This was on at Petawawa for the OBN qualifier.
Oh, wow.
So they had no choice once they were off the boat to let the boat go down the rapids, free fall. So it put a big, huge hole in the back. Oh yeah, his boat was he lost his boat that day.
Do you remember when we did the first B1? We tried to get to that body of water, and you were going to drive out the rapids.
Yeah, and everybody was yelling at me.
Yeah, everybody was yelling at us.
I am the asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not the right way. It was like a. It was.
I still don't know how to get there. Seriously.
No, it was like.
You have to lock or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's like a lift lock to the right, I think, where you had to put a boat in, and they locked you up.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I was just gonna take the rapids.
Yeah, and people start going
like waving
crazy
and like yelling at me and like, you can't be here, and we're like, what?
No, we're fine. And I think they were yelling at us in French.
It was all in French and stuff.
Well, usually rapids are pretty shallow and all that stuff coming up.
Yeah, that doesn't scare. Listen.
Okay?
This is the guy who throws a 2.5 pounder back at 7:15 in the morning. You think he cares about rocks?
It was deep. It was like 20 feet.
It was really deep. It was really, really deep.
Because I'm like, what are these guys yelling at? We're good.
But we had like a 17-foot Lund with a 90 Yamaha 4-stroke, and it was just screaming trying to get up there. But I was like, he's driving, and I'm looking. I'm like, I think we're fine.
It's not your boat.
There was construction going on like a bridge, and these guys are going like ape shit, and I'm like, oh, I think we're good. I think they're just excited to see us here. So in the same event, it was on, what was that, Lake of Two Mountains?
Yeah.
So we're flipping the shoreline, right? And this freighter goes by, like 300-foot boat. And we have this scrutineer with us who doesn't speak English, he only speaks French. So we were having a lot of fun with him, and we were kind of like bridging the gap. But on this part, like it's 100 feet of water here, and where we are right here, it's like 4 feet, right? So we're flipping away and we're shooting the shit, and the weeds all of a sudden go, whoop, they're gone.
Yeah, we were flipping a weed bed and
there was no weed bed anymore. right? We look back at our scrutineer, and he goes, suction, suction, suction. And we're like, what? And he's like, suction, suction. And we look, and there is a wall of water coming at us, right? We hit the first one, and I was catching rods in the air as I fell through the sky. And this scrutineer, he had brought like this great big waterproof bag, and I remember looking back, and he was hugging it in the air as me, Marley, the rods, his
my
bag,
God.
the scrutineer, and his lawn dropped 12 feet from the sky.
Oh my god.
It was messed up.
Yeah. And then we look at him, and he's like, suction, boko bye, water pole, you fucked. And we were like, we could have said something, man. That guy was a good guy, though, because we ended up making the cut. That was that day one we had him? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Because day two we had this guy was hot. We were like, we can pick him up in the morning. This is before we even had bass boat. Got the deep V. He jumps in our boat, and we're having like half a conversation, and we're like, we aren't planning on catching any fish today. We only caught 6 this week in pre-fish. We go out there, we got 16 pounds on the frog. A fish would go off, set hook, and we'd like high-five each other, and then we'd high-five the scrutineer, and the three of us are cheering like schoolgirls, right? Next day we go out, and same thing, we get this guy, and he's all pumped to be with us, and we're like, we're really sorry you got our boat. We're like 22 years old, right? Mm-hmm. We were like, we did all right yesterday, but we told, like, there's no fish left, right? But we got our 5 fish. The last fish, he rowed me into a back bay, and I stood on the front of the deep V, sight fishing a fish with a hook with a slammer on it with no weight, like dangling it in front of him. And the scrutineer's at the back, and he's like, get him, get him, get him. I said hook, right? I said hook. Marley runs to the front with the oar, because remember he was telling us that he thought you were going to hit the fish with the oar. So he goes like this, and he kind of throws the oar on the bottom, grabs the net, scoops them, we get it in, and we're like schoolgirls. Like, we got 5. Oh, my God. And we weighed in like decent 14 pounds, and we did all right in that tournament. But the scrutineers made it. Like, it wasn't a 2-man team. It was like a 3-man team.
It's like a cheerleader.
He was. We were like high-fiving. We never met the guys in our life. We went by like 9 in the morning, 3 fishing. We were all hugging each other.
That's where I hit the prop
That's
too
awesome.
that day.
Huh?
I hit the prop too that day.
You
So
did.
I'm like, what are these guys
What was
fishing
it?
out
So
here?
we're fishing this spot, and this guy's fishing behind us forever, right? Like, he didn't move. So Marley's like, what are those guys fishing? He's backing up. Boom. Rock, man. Fishing a rock.
Right
Did we get any more stories?
No, but we have a full whiteboard that we haven't even touched.
Yeah, we're not even
Oh,
going to get
no.
close. We're not even getting... we got through most of that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, with the apparel company.
So we decided to shut down the... Why don't you talk about it? We decided to shut down the apparel company.
Did you see that face?
Basically, there's only so much hours in the day. It did a great job as a marketing tool for us. Our field staff was amazing. When I started selling clothing, there was like 2 or 3 companies, and now everybody and their cousin has a clothing company. It's kind of not cool to have a clothing company anymore. So the other, it's something had to go, and that was it. The other thing is that I really feel the whole clothing market is just tied up in pro staffs. Like, some of these companies have 2,000 or 3,000 pro staff members who are signed under contract. So who do you sell clothing to? They can't buy anybody's clothing. So Amber and I sat down and made the decision to pull the cord. We had a terrific final 24-hour sale that we'll be mailing tomorrow morning. But it's never been the goal to own a clothing company. We may do like short runs in the future, Amber.
Limited editions.
Limited
I think
edition.
that's a good idea.
Right? We'll announce them on the YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, you won't find out.
We have a huge calling for those gray sweaters. With
Yeah, we may do those
like
again.
crazy calling.
Yeah,
I
everybody
can't
asked
tell
for
you.
those.
Which ones?
The
The old
original
ones.
ones with the hot
The
crust.
crest?
Yeah.
We may do those ones again soon, but it's
The
not gonna-
hoodies.
It's kind of like when we first started it. There wasn't a whole lot of companies doing it, and
Well, they're expensive to do too.
it is
Very
expensive.
expensive.
It ties up a lot of money.
Unless you're buying 10,000 units.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you show up to even a little fishing show now, and there's 10 companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right, and there's
Sure.
There's not that demand for it. So never the goal has been to own an apparel company. It was more to do media and the vlogs and videos, and so we're gonna
It was
focus
basically
more.
just to get the logo out and to get the FearFishing name
Yeah.
known.
So it did its job and it ran its time, and we're moving on.
Moving on, moving
We're
on.
moving on. I think we're done here, guys.
We have Ashton's birthday. Emma's birthday.
Ashton had a birthday. Did he had his birthday
my
a couple weeks
birthday?
ago?
Yeah, he did, honey.
Yes. Emma's having a birthday on Tuesday. Happy birthday to them. Do we
Tandra's
all agree-
birthday's on Wednesday.
Who?
Mine.
No way.
Yeah.
Well,
Who's
happy
this?
birthday.
Yeah.
Are you 40?
No. not
39?
quite. Almost. Yeah.
No way. Just a baby,
39.
eh?
Oh, I remember the good old days.
What do we all agree that Darlene won?
Yes.
Do we have any more?
No, Amber said no.
What?
Do we have any more stories?
No.
Okay, so I'm voting for Darlene.
Darlene.
The fact that Mike lied twice is good enough for a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say so for sure.
It's been awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, tuning in. Remember, you can listen on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Subscribe to the FearFishing YouTube channel for you don't miss any of the action. Follow on Instagram, Facebook, as you already are. You guys are on Instagram, Facebook, anything?
Not really. I got an account, but dude, Facebook keeps me busy.
Oh shit, Marley, you got a pretty sweet Instagram account. Are you accepting followers?
Always, yeah.
What is it?
You're not on
Always,
Facebook though.
yeah.
He's not on
so
Facebook
Bob
though.
Marley, is that what
Not
it
so
is?
Bob Marley.
Not so Bob Marley.
Sean, you got an Instagram?
And I try to keep it not fishy.
I've got an Instagram. I've never posted.
No,
anything.
I've got one picture on it. The one that I did when I
Marley posts some pretty sweet pictures.
applied for it or whatever you
So
said.
is it if you post on Instagram, it posts on your Facebook too?
No.
Is that
No.
Have to do that
You can.
yourself.
You can do
Tundra, what is your stuff?
Frozen tundra.
that.
Amber, what do you do? Hair?
I do hair for love, I think it is.
Ooh.
I do
think
hair for
mine's
life or I do hair for love.
FRZ.
Ooh.
I can't remember.
/.
Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We have final thoughts. Sorry, before we final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I hope everybody gets out there and smashes some fall smallies or whatever it is you're targeting. Those musky guys. Good luck to them. Hope everybody gets a bear and a
Deer.
deer, and
I got fuzz.
especially me.
Yes,
And
bear hunting.
I'm
We're
just
coming up.
I'm just happy it's beard season. It's coming back. It's coming back.
Vikings
ready,
have beers.
get ready.
Mar, final word?
I'm really looking forward to steelheading this year for some reason.
Nice. I am too. I am too.
What?
I'm excited to go float
Can't
fishing.
wait to do it.
I am too. McCall?
I'm happy
gonna
to
be
be
sentimental.
hanging up the fishing rod and pulling out the bow. I'll tell
Nice.
you that.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
doubt, eh?
You know, I don't think I'm gonna pull out a gun this year. I'll just bow hunt.
Just bow hunt?
Yeah.
Man
yeah.
shit right there.
Amber, any final words?
I'm looking forward to going to hunt camp.
Amber, we'll get that on the next.
Going from band camp
She's
to hunt camp.
she's
Look
coming
at
to.
that.
Amber's gonna come.
Time
Scrapbook
changes.
into tree stands. Here we go.
We're doing the weekend after Thanksgiving. We're doing something extra. We're going to film not only the Fear Fishing blog, but we're going to do a project with Vantage Point Media people. Amber's going to come to bear camp, hang out.
Just to cook, basically.
You're coming in the tree.
Sean coming to the bear camp?
Yeah, if he wants.
Coming to the bear camp?
Bear camp. When?
Weekend after Thanksgiving.
It's $500 per person for food.
Yeah.
That you see, this is how.
I like-
Best hot dogs you ever had.
I like
I gotta
to eat.
talk about this.
The
This
next
is-
time-
we're not
the
done
next
yet.
Are
time-
you gonna smoke the hot dogs? 'Cause that'd be
We're
sick.
not done yet. The electric barbecue. So Ian, we go bear hunting 2 weeks ago, week ago, whatever. Ian says, "Don't worry, Mark. I was just gonna go to the food land and
Whoa,
coffee."
like
He
shit.
says, "Don't worry, Mark. I've got tons of food. We're good."
We're good. So we left with 20 minutes notice.
Yeah, I've got tons of food. That's all I remember hearing. So we get there. He's got 2 packages of hot dogs, a package of meat sticks, which is basically mini
Hot
pre-cooked
dogs.
hot dogs. He's got
All dressed chips?
He's got all dressed chips.
One bag.
One bag.
Oh.
He's got 4 granola bars
Gatorade.
and salt and pepper.
What do you bring for you?
What did you bring salt and pepper for?
He brought.
No
he didn't
idea.
bring mustard. He brought salt and pepper for our hot dogs.
I had Paps too.
My God.
Paps.
You brought salt and pepper for hot dogs.
Yes.
And all dressed chips.
All
Hey,
dressed
look,
chips.
that meal, that
Good
food
work.
right there would have been like a miracle on some of the tournaments we fished on.
Dude, I had the shits for
You brought
3
that
days.
much? Crazy.
Yeah, we ate way less than that on fishing
So we're
trips.
going to have to talk about our meals.
I got meal plans. I got 6 packs of wieners in the freezer.
We ate KFC pizza for a whole weekend one time.
Do you remember
Whole
that? We went to the B1 and we had 3 times that week the extra large Pizza Hut pizza and the box of chicken.
There
We
you
ate
go.
We ate
I would
that
have been
all
happy with that.
Yeah, we ordered the same meal 3 times.
And Coors Light.
In Coors Light. Lots of Coors Light. Lots and lots of Coors Light. And beer shits and chicken shits.
Darlene says she'll help.
She'll
Oh,
help what?
we'll live. We've never gone there and died yet.
Well, Ian's like, Ian asked me.
I thought I
me
was
if
when I was
wanna
sitting in
go.
the outhouse.
He asks me
You're
if I want to go,
fine.
and I'm like, yeah, sure, that sounds like fun. Well, there's no power, and there's no food, and there's no heat.
No, I'm
Did he
just
tell you
like-
about the toilet
There's
yet?
bears, and if you have to go pee in the middle of the night, like there's bears, so you can't.
And I'm like,
go
there's
there.
bears. I'm just not getting
But there
off.
shouldn't
Like,
be
you'll be
bugs.
fine.
So, and
What?
I'm like,
But
why
there
did you
shouldn't be
ask me to
bugs.
go?
No, remember the bugs?
Mark will have a knife you can take outside.
I asked my
Yeah.
wife to go Joan, and she says, no.
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 I don't mind that.
And you don't want to sleep on the top bunk.
No, I did last time
told
too.
me to
Because
sleep
the
on
red
top
squirrels.
No, but we were downstairs this time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
downstairs.
We're sleeping in a cabin
can't
that's
wait.
pre-Civil War.
I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
wait to
It's
use my
awesome.
It's like the
onesie.
it's like real deal. It's not like you know when like a rich guy goes, I'm going to the hunting lodge, and he really goes to the Holiday Inn in the woods. It's not where we're going. We're going to man camp.
We're going to the real deal here.
We're going to man camp. You remember when we couldn't find the axe? And then we
Yeah.
checked everywhere.
In the
except
morning, we
front
come
door?
out, it's sitting right beside the door.
Where
Where else
If
would
we
it be?
walked outside to look
Right?
for it, it would have hit us in
Did
the
you guys
toe.
cook over a
Right.
fire again?
Yeah, we did, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Hey,
We
was
would
I
fire.
ingenious or what?
I'm
What?
gonna have to bring my Go Girl.
That's weird. We're not even talking about that on
Yeah,
this
yeah.
show.
You leave those at home.
Why were you a genius? Why were you a genius?
You got one for me?
How I cook those dogs, man?
Okay, so Mark he found like a toaster, you know, like you would lay toast on top of a fire. to
A
cook.
Like a camp
campfire.
toaster?
He cooked
Yeah.
a whole pack of hot dogs on it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good. I don't even
And
know
they're
why he's
delicious.
complaining.
Good
They
rig.
see, and they were delicious. So I don't know why with the whole. Well, you know, he brought hot dogs. They were delicious hot
Salt and
dogs.
pepper. There was salt and pepper.
Well, how do you know? Maybe we would have shot a bear, and then we could have tenderloin, put salt and pepper on it.
You don't even know where the tenderloin is.
What do you mean? I don't know where the tenderloin is. It's in the rib cage.
Under.
All right.
It's the
Under
tender
and up.
spot.
Yeah, it's the tender spot. I don't know.
Couple.
I grew up on a farm that had 4,000 cattle. I've seen more death than anybody in this room. 4,000 a year. Tenderloin.
Awkward.
Anyway, it's been a great show. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can listen to it tomorrow or Tuesday on iTunes, whenever we get to it. Nothing? We're good?
We're good.
Marley, we're good.
Password protect your phones.
Password protect your
Oh, wow.
phones. Good night.